So today's topic is,
This topic.
in a general sense, it's finances, like
Finances.
personal finances.
Oh man.
Well, specifically, we're gonna do like a versus comparison thing of saving versus investing, or what is that really, and then spending versus versus spending too, and then versus like credit cards and how people spend their money. And hopefully we get more personal examples when people come. But yeah, because I think things are opening up again. We're expected to kind of boost the economy back, spend money, and and I do highly recommend, like, don't go chintzy on tips right now. Like, tip at least 15%, I guess, or whatever.
Man, everybody's getting $2.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the other amount. The other perspective, they're like, oh, I've been, not making any money, so then people aren't willing to give out as much money right now. But I mean, those waiters and servers have been making even less. So, but oh, check this out. Ooh, it's so crazy. Anyway, I guess, yeah, I'll ask you first, Dej.
Yeah.
How do you go about? Do you mind talking about like the way you go about your personal finances?
Oh man. I just do this.
You just That's what I mean. No, that's some people do that though. They live paycheck to paycheck type of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily paycheck to paycheck, but like I could be saving a lot more if my spending habits were under control.
Okay.
I just feel like
Why would they be out of control? What would you describe as
because I'm
out of
unemployed,
control spending?
and a lot of that like a lot of people have financial problems because like they're impulsive, they just buy stuff, they don't keep track of things. That's usually the root of a lot of those problems. Like no one knows where their money's going because they're
Do you
just
keep track?
not really. I mean, sporadically, but that's definitely something I need to make a habit of.
Well, you know how much you make every 2 weeks with your paycheck, roughly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you generally try to aim to spend less than that in that time period? Or do you even compare the two?
I aim for that. Do I hit that target? That's a different story.
Okay, I'm not like the model like example here, because I know people who have like spreadsheets and stuff, or they track. They really do see, okay, my monthly expenses are this, and this is how much I make. This much goes off to rent or mortgage. This one goes to food, gas, or something, and then maybe something else for like fun and entertainment, and whatever, groceries is most part of food. But I don't do that.
Sorry, real quick. Are we mirrored on the stream?
Yeah.
Oh,
You on Twitch right now? You watching on Twitch?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can flip it. I don't know if you can actually flip it. Thanks for reminding me. I should go on the Twitch to make sure it's showing. Yeah, there it is. It's alright. It's doing alright. Go on that for me too. Give me another viewer.
Oh yeah, you got another viewer already.
Oh yeah, there we go. Up to 2.
Nice.
I need more. Oh, let me shamelessly plug myself here. Everyone else does on Discord. Twitch. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit up my boys to like watch this shit too.
Hey, nice. They can.
Yo man, I'm on Discord, man. Or Twitch.
Yo,
the Twitch stream,
raid
right?
me that, yo.
The Twitch stream. They don't have to like have an account to watch it, do they?
I don't think so. They want to follow and chat. They might need to if they want to chat,
Oh, okay.
but
Send this out, yo. Like, yo, y'all niggas watch this, yo. Can Cardin group chat?
no, don't put it there.
I was literally about to type in the Warzone chat, hey, anyone want a pod? Then I remember what you said about Tom. That's why I was like, yo, is
No,
my
it's fine.
phone?
Well, Tom now can come in here. He has access now, so it's alright.
Oops. Hope you're not watching,
It
buddy.
was just, it was just, it was just a bit unexpected. That's all.
All right, post
I gotta
that.
say too, like I was anticipating this whole pandemic that I would just be losing money, slowly losing money and cutting into my savings. But I got lucky, like some government programs, some grants, and you know the relief benefits and stuff have sustained. Not even sustained. I'm still managing to manage my finances well enough where I think I'm still saving a little bit, you know. So that's good.
Cool. It taught
Like
you
it's
like better money saving. Like, did you like
well,
increase
yeah,
your financial knowledge?
no, I've got into investing a lot more, like
Oh,
moving a lot of that was the part of this topic today, the whole saving versus investing.
okay.
But you know, I used to drive everywhere all the time, and then anywhere I'd need to like have like a meeting or social or anything like that. I spent a lot more when I was driving to work, going out on Fridays and weekends, socializing because I had more income. I spent more, but because of the pandemic, stayed home a lot. I barely drive now. I mean, it's picking up again. That's why this is the topic today. But like, I barely drove. My food, I ate at home all the time. I made food, or I just, you know, coupons on the apps. So my costs went down a lot, much, much lower than I guess I expected, and that's helped me out. You know, I thought my rent would still hurt, but I'm doing okay. Obviously, my credit card expenses are much lower than it used to be.
That's crazy.
I don't shop anymore, right? But because things are opening up again, that's what I actually feel like. I have this urge to go out and shop again and to like spend and to like, oh, I'm gonna go out and socialize again. Oh, maybe I need new clothes or want some new shoes again, or even just going out to eat at restaurants because they're so expensive now, even more than before. Like just to eat or drink at a restaurant, that eats up a lot in the budget, right? Do you invest like in the stock market or anything, or do you have mutual funds, RSPs? You must have RSPs.
I dabble in some crypto, but that's about it. By dabble, I mean I basically don't do anything. I just like
Okay,
got an app and just like bought a couple like Bitcoin at one point, and it's just been
a
sitting
fraction
there
of a
for months.
Bitcoin? Do you have a Bitcoin or like a fraction of a Bitcoin?
Like a fraction. If I had a Bitcoin, I would not be talking to you right now. Isn't that shit worth like what 50? What is it now? 60 something, 50 something, or it dropped, right? See, I
It
haven't even
dropped. It
looked
was
at
like
that app.
30 to 40,000 now.
Oh Jesus, I might still be
Yeah,
talking.
I'm sure
What was
it'll
it to say?
pick up again.
It's interesting you mentioned like going out and like buying clothes and
Mhm.
all that stuff that involves being outside and interacting with society. You do derive a certain amount of joy from that, though.
Mhm.
Like that interaction, because human beings are social creatures, you know. So like,
Yeah, there's value for sure. Like I miss it.
yeah,
I want to do it more again too, you know, but I want to be able to afford it.
yeah, true, true. I mean, like before COVID, you were a fairly social person.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
had like weekly commitments, like networking meeting every week, basketball at least once a week. I'd go out almost every Friday because I'm like stretched out during the week.
Hmm.
And my weekends are usually events, like I shoot a wedding or I shoot bat mitzvahs or whatever, or any kind of corporate events, and I'd want to go out after. If it ends up early enough, I'll go out after as like a R&R type of thing.
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, most events generally end up really late, so I just go home at night. But then the next day, it's rest. I don't know. I spend a lot, and then I find other things to spend on, like gear. I'll spend more on like a new camera, new lens, or something for the stream setup, the podcast, or something else to review. Oh damn.
Someone else is doing?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I heard a thing.
That's
I don't
Mike.
have
Oh, what's up, man?
webcam, so
What?
What'd you say?
I don't have it here. I don't have my webcam here.
Uh,
Oh, you're your sisters?
No, I'm
thought
at my
you-
place. I just don't have it here. I think I left
Oh.
it at Sharon's place.
You were saying, Dej?
what was
You
that?
gonna go out more?
Huh?
Like, are you planning to go out more too?
Like in general?
Okay, phase 3 was a week ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Has anything changed for you socially?
Thing is, I'm kind of like I generally move around quite a bit. Like, if I did not, like, because right now I don't have a vehicle, right? Like, I'm planning to buy one soon, but because of that, I haven't been moving around as much. Even during the pandemic, I was still like kind of moving around a bit, not as much, but I was still pretty mobile. Once I get a car, I'll definitely like probably be out and about again,
Okay,
'cause trying to
I'm glad you
network
brought up the
more.
car.
Okay,
Why? Can I ask about it? Can I ask,
Sure.
like, can we delve deep into that subject?
sure.
First of all, why are you deciding now to get the car? Specifically now.
Because I've had to be, because okay, my car broke down in March, and I've had to
Okay.
just like get around without one, and
Mhm.
it's not at this time a lifestyle I'm trying to get used to. Like I need a car to move
Mhm.
around because I like. There's a couple like I do a lot of networking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of a limitation because there's people I need to like connect with face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like yes, virtual connectivity is pretty effective, there's no substitute for human connection, right? A real face to face connection. So that's how I've always operated personally.
Would
You
you
know?
say that's more so due to your line of work, or is it just more of a social lifestyle thing? Like, because
Mhm.
as artists, yeah, we generally have to connect with others to produce and create stuff. I mean, I've seen there are artists out there too who can do everything on their own at home, producing at home, and then they're like their one person band. They just loop everything, and then they can do all that from their home. But
Mhm.
it's different for me anyway. I shoot events, so obviously as that art type of artist, I need to go out and meet people to drive to those events and locations.
Yeah.
But you have, obviously you have a job. Did you drive to work? Okay, when you said, sorry, it broke down last March, just the past March, or
Was it
pandemic March?
4 months ago?
Okay, so recent. Okay.
5 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay, I was wondering if it was maybe like you decided not. It happened maybe a while ago, and you decided with the pandemic you didn't need a car for the pandemic.
true. I mean, I'm lucky now because where I work is what 4 minute bike ride from where I live, 4 or 5 minute bike ride from where I live, which
Nice.
is what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was my old work, which was like I would have had to Uber every day or take a bus, I could have done that, but that would have been really inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your earlier question, it's not due to my line of work because I've always just been someone that was big on connecting with people, like in a genuine, organic manner. So it's more
Mm-hmm.
like just the artist thing, you know. And I feel like a lot of my stuff has been a result of me being isolating myself and just like doing my own thing and being in my own like world for so long. So I'm actively seeking like collaboration at this point, just to like get a different perspective, get different influences, etc., etc. So, yeah, man.
Well, you know how a lot of people in Toronto downtown
Mm-hmm.
can function very easily without a car. Like having a car in the city, you got to pay for a parking spot. You always got to park somewhere, and traffic. It makes more sense to not have a car in the city.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't think
I'm in
I
sub.
would.
Hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't have a car if I lived in Toronto. I don't think. I live in Mississauga currently, which is
Hmm.
like still doable. There's still lots of like open space here. But
Hmm.
like Toronto is just a nightmare, man.
Hmm.
Like, nah, anybody got time for that? And I
Mike
would
still
just be
here?
downtown like all the time anyway. So just take the transit or Uber or whatever, TTC, subway. It's
You ever
more convenient.
consider like living downtown to be
If I
easily
got a
more
job
connected?
there, I would.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Are you gonna buy a car?
Mm-hmm.
Used
Yeah,
car?
I'm looking at even meeting up with the person like tomorrow.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
just
Okay.
like have a look at it. So it might
So
even
you'll
be
have
super.
one. You'll have one for kincarding.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but maybe in like 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Trying to get it over with, man. Still gotta like. That's the other thing too. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. I gotta do my license plate sticker and all that bullshit and get
Oh,
insurance.
yeah. You have a plate already? Like an
Mhm.
existing one?
Mhm.
Okay. I think you can register. There are some things you could do
Online.
beforehand. But yeah, that is a timely process, especially if things are being mailed out, stickers and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of price. A lot of costs, extra costs you didn't when I bought my car 3 years ago or whatever, the day of when I picked it up, all these other costs came that not
Didn't
necessarily that I
anticipate.
wasn't prepared for. I was just like, oh my god, I gotta pay for that. Then I gotta pay, like the registration and then the sticker and then added insurance and then I had to time certain things of like when the coverage had to start or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
But your old car is gone. You sold it already.
Yeah, my car is like in the fucking dumpster.
Oh, you tossed it.
Yeah, they like 'cause my engine like gave up the ghost, man. It just exploded.
Hmm.
So they were like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna need a new engine." And I was like, "What? Just take the car.
Okay. So
Just take it."
we touched on you don't really track your financing, but now you're thinking about the car. Did you have like a fund for it? Were you like saving up for it? Is there like a
Right
target
now?
that you needed to hit? Yeah. Like how do you decide
Oh
to
yeah, I
take?
had a target.
Okay. So you hit
Yeah.
that, and you're like, now I can
I
buy a car.
am. I am also getting some assistance from um, my parents,
Nice.
so they're like also contributing. So yeah, with their contribution, I've currently hit my target.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask about your banking. I take it you have a checking account.
All of my money is actually under my mattress.
All of
Okay.
your money's under your mattress.
I'm kidding. No, I have a checking account.
Okay, so you have a checking account. You have a savings account.
I do not have a savings account. Oh, actually, I do have a savings account.
Okay,
Yes.
which is a joke basically in the banks. Like,
But I have a. Okay, no, I don't have a savings account. I have a checking account. I have another checking account that I keep my savings in.
you have two checking accounts. One's for saving, the other one's for usage.
Yes.
Okay, and every year taxes and stuff. RSPs, you ever like look into that?
I have, and I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about those, man. Like, they
Explain.
make sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like something I like begrudgingly know I need to. It's like, man, I just gotta take some of this money and just put it there and just like leave it.
You don't
It's
like
just
thinking about saving for retirement.
I think about it more actively now. If you'd asked me this question 3 years ago, I'd have been like, man, we're all gonna die like without knowing when. Like, how do I know I'm gonna make it to 60?
Mhm.
But gotta be responsible. So yes, I am actively like thinking about some time in the near future looking into that.
Okay. I mean, you're still pretty young, but I mean, I didn't like the idea of it either. I'm like, so I have to put a chunk of money there that I can't touch for essentially till I'm 60. when I
They're like, are y'all
uh,
niggas crazy?
and I think, okay, if I put that much money
I'm
there,
broke now.
how much how much more will I have access to so I can still live the life that I quote unquote want to live? Okay, here's Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to add anything? You good?
What's there to add?
I don't know. You have obviously you have a say on RSPs.
Okay, yeah. So I have a checking, I have a savings, and yeah, RSP and TFSA. I try to save in both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I
but you have
feel
to say no.
Yeah, it's there. Well, the biggest reason why I put money into RSP is because when I worked in Alberta, I made a chunk of money that wasn't taxed. So I didn't want to have to pay the tax man after. So if you put it in RSPs, you save a bit on what you have to pay later, or what you have to pay for income tax. So that's why I had to put it away. Like I could save a little bit more money rather than like earn the money, go home, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna have to give us a couple
Yeah,
$1,000."
big
Yeah,
chunk of it goes back to them. Yeah.
yeah. Because usually, if you have like a regular salary and they take income tax, you don't notice it because they give you after tax, right? Or if they miscalculate it, then you get like a tax return. Was it tax return? Was it?
Mhm.
Yeah. But when I worked in Alberta, I realized after after the fact that I didn't get taxed. So I was like, oh shit, that's why it was a lot of money. So I had to put a chunk into RSPs.
Oh, you mean they were paying you like a contractor? There was no tax deducted on each
I think
payment?
so. I think
Oh
so.
wow.
Because on my stubs it didn't say taxed. Like it didn't say I was taxed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. When I went home, because my residence was still Ontario. So I guess I have to pay Ontario tax, which sucks because Alberta tax was a lot less
Hmm.
apparently at the time. Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask you both the question. For the past 5 years, would you say that you lived within your means, above your means? Did it leave you feeling that your income or your finances was limiting you in how you wanted to live your life? Or was it where it needed to be?
I feel as though it's probably living. What is it? Above my means?
Yeah, well, that would be like
Well,
You feel like you spent
spending
too
more
much.
than you think you actually earned. Yeah,
yeah. Yes.
to uphold a certain living standard, a lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
By choice?
Uh, yeah, just because I was, like I told you, I was impulsive. It's not like I didn't make enough to, like, live within my means. It's just I would just spend so much on random shit. Probably, like, a lot of it on Uber Eats.
Yeah, the food is too easy.
Oh my
Food's
god.
so easy
It's
to
too
spend on.
Yeah, I think I have like phases where I'm like, oh yeah, I could save it. I can save a lot, but then all that savings, like, I have another phase where it's like, oh shit, I have to
You
buy this, I have to
splurge.
buy
Yeah.
that. And it was like, I haven't bought anything in like a couple of months. I could buy one big thing. Yeah. It's
Are you
usually
guys
big.
comfortable talking about like debt? If you'd
Oh,
rather
man.
not, we don't have to. But I
mean,
could ask
yeah,
about it.
I'll touch it if you touch it.
I can touch it comfortably because I'm in a specific situation, but like some people might not want to talk about it. So there's your premise. I mean, I'm willing to talk about it, but
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm down to talk about it. I probably won't get too specific.
okay. Well, the first one is, do you have
Oh yeah, credit
Okay.
card.
credit card debt?
Mhm.
I mean, okay. I really we need to talk. Like, it's the worst. I think personally, credit card debt is the worst thing to have.
Yeah.
Like if you carry
'Cause-
it over.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't call it. I wouldn't consider it debt if you're paying it off on time. Then that's not debt. It's like you didn't lose there. You would have spent the cash anyway. But if you're holding on to debt for months and months on credit card, that's the worst you can do. You could probably, I don't know. Can you clear it within like a short amount of time?
Then I have to wait for the car.
How much longer?
I think there's a way you can transfer it to like a
You can consolidate,
credit.
right?
line of credit or
Mhm.
something. Because
True,
credit
true,
card
true.
debt is like 20% or something stupid like that, right?
It's something dumb. It's like
something stupid. I've never
anywhere between 20 to 28% per
I
month.
think
Per year.
I've maybe I think I've maybe had like one or two times where it carried over the next month. But I don't know. I don't exactly know how it works. I just know when I read it, I'm like 20, like 19.99%. Like,
Yeah.
damn. It's like, how
Well,
does that? Okay, do you know how they charge that? I don't know how
Yeah.
they charge that.
Yeah. So that rate is an annual rate. So whatever balance, let's say $1,000, you spent $1,000 in March, and then it's due by the beginning of April, and you miss that payment. They'll take 19, let's say 20% divided by 12, and then that percentage times $1,000, and that's what they add in April.
So how much
make
is
sense?
that? Can we calculate that?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm. Yeah, can you do those maths, please?
Ooh, my bad. I can't use
So
my numpad.
1,000.
Can you do the maths?
1,000.
So if it was 20% divided by 12, it's basically 1.7% a month.
Damn.
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't sound
On
so bad per
$1,000
month.
on $1,000, let's say you spent $1,000 in April. Oh, what just happened here? Oh, my bad. One
Why
point
does 1% doesn't sound
6.
why
Doesn't
doesn't
sound
that
high,
sound bad
but
at
that's
all? Yeah.
monthly. Because it's monthly though.
Yeah,
If you
that's
spend
true. And then it
$1,000,
compounds.
yeah, $1,000, that's $16 extra that you'll have to pay in April, right?
And
you're
then if you
like,
carry it
oh,
again,
that's not
it's
bad.
another
And then
1% on the 1,600. 16,
Yeah.
I mean 1,016.
Yeah, it'll be 1.7% on $1,016, and then it'll be at that 1.7% on 1,000. 32, or you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna add up every month, and you're paying interest on the compound. Yeah, I think you should clear your credit card debt first. If you can somehow open a line of credit at least, so you can get both a car. So you know what a line of credit is? A line of credit?
Can you explain it to me? And
Compounded daily? The fuck? Is it really? Dad, be honest. You can explain to me.
compounded daily.
Oh, okay, yeah. So every day okay. Maybe it's divided, instead of divided by 12, it's divided by 365, and it's only charged on the next billing period, but it does accumulate. It's only compounded daily after yeah. Obviously, you have that grace period of like 20 days, 21 days, where there's no interest. But then once you miss the billing period, then yeah, Dan's right. It's compounded daily, and it's even worse if you do a cash advance on the credit card. That's the worst thing you could do. Don't do that. Don't ever do a cash advance on a credit card.
I don't do that.
I've made that error once before. Didn't know it was treated as a cash advance, and yeah, automatically on that day, it starts earning interest, and it's a higher interest rate on a cash advance.
Oh shit.
And you can't stop. Let's say you have normal credit card purchases on that same credit card, and you have the cash advance. You can't stop earning interest until all of it's paid off.
Shit.
Like even if you paid all of the credit card or whatever, or maybe you paid the amount that you took on cash advance, it will still continue as if you're in debt for the rest of the balance until it's squared off. It's so annoying. Anyway. Okay, a line of credit is like it's like an account with a bank that kind of operates like a credit card. But it's not a credit card, it's an account. So if the bank is willing to lend you a certain amount of money, and if you use that money to, let's say, buy a car or to pay off certain things, it's a lower interest rate, and you pay it off similarly like a credit card. Like it'll just, rather than it being, let's say, 20 to 30%, it could maybe be 3 or 5%, I think.
Interesting.
Which sounds good, right? You're like, oh, then I'm in for that. So what you would do is you get approved at the bank. Let's say you have $10,000 debt in your credit card. You pull $10,000 from the line of credit and you pay off your credit cards, because all of those are earning way too much, are accumulating way too much interest charges. So you clear all of them first, and then you just got to worry about paying back the line of credit at a lower interest rate. And then you can also, let's say if you were approved for, I don't know, 20,000, 50,000, who knows? Then you could buy the car too. And then pay back. But, you know, if you're buying a dealer and they do the whole financing thing where they say for a year you don't have to pay.
Yeah, I know that. It's outright.
Well, oh, you're going to pay outright anyway. So then, yeah, that makes sense then, because the biggest thing is you need to cut all the debts that earn the most interest first.
Yeah.
And you can do that easily. You can do that easily. You have a job that can grant you like approval for, I'm pretty sure you can get a line of credit. Like you have a good job and you have multiple streams of income and your costs are like manageable. They're relatively low, I think.
I would say so.
So, yeah. I mean, you know how a credit card works now. Did anyone explain it to you before you got your first credit card, or?
No, I mean, I did some like I've done like research on all of that. It's just the line of credit specifically that I was a bit needed some brushing up on.
So what is it? If any, you know, I've never, I don't know, whenever I got my first credit card, I didn't really understand all the details behind it, but I know my parents were all like, never carry over a credit card debt. Make sure you pay it off on time. That was one thing my parents told me to do when I was young, even though they they didn't even want me to get a credit card at all. They thought it was
Same.
I'd spend irresponsibly and whatever like that. So some people, I think, get a credit card and they don't realize that they're earning interest. You know, like you sign up on one of those desks at a school, at like Waterloo, SLC. They're like, all right, we can approve you for $500 instantly if you just sign up right now or whatever. All the fine print. So then people think, oh, I got approved for $500. I can go and spend $500 today. That's what people think. I think not everybody, but most people who have that misconception think that way. I don't think that's necessarily us right now in this chat or in the podcast. But what was it that made you feel comfortable not paying that bill at the end of the month in full? How do you like accept that? You're like, you know what? I can pay it back later.
I guess basically, yeah. It's like, yeah.
It's like, I want this now, but I don't have the cash for it, but I want this now. Is that like, it was like a purchase, right?
Yeah. That's usually like the trade-offs one would make mentally. Like,
and then in your mind, I'll make it back and I can pay it off in a certain amount of time.
Just pay it off 2 weeks when I get paid type thing.
Yeah. Right. Okay. But then it accumulates and then it adds up. And now it's to this level now where it can really set you back.
I'll just sell my belongings. I can pay this off.
Good thing there's Kijiji.
I could just sell my body. It's
How much is donating blood?
How much donating blood?
Sperm banks, I think they pay for that too.
Yeah. It is tempting though, like you have your, you know,
you're
given a credit card.
Young lad.
Yeah.
Yo, I saw this one TikTok. This girl, and she decided to strip. Like, she was very pro becoming a stripper. She's like, she showed like wads of cash. She's like, I made like $3,000 today just dancing. And then and you know, she tried the whole getting a normal job, like whatever, it could be fast food or assistant or whatever it is. But she was trying to, go to school and get an education, get her degree and all that stuff. And she's like, well, I can make this much, pay for all my school. Then I get this much, get a car. And then you'd hope, though, that that's what it's for, that it doesn't introduce, other dark parts of that world and get her trapped in there where will constantly, like the drug thing and drinking and addictions and stuff like that. That's I guess some of the potential dangers of that industry that you could be susceptible to, or at least like vulnerable to. But if she's got like good head on her shoulders, she's gonna make all that money. She knows she has an out, like an exit strategy. Then she's set.
She's got that good head. Sorry, go ahead.
Good head on her shoulders.
I thought you were gonna make a joke there.
Well, you already made the joke.
You did it. You did it for me. Anyway,
let me ask you a question. If you were a heterosexual female, heterosexual woman, and you were about 7 to an 8, would you sell your body to OnlyFans?
if I was a 7 out of 8 out of 10 in attractiveness, would I sell my body to OnlyFans?
Man, it's tempting if you can make a lot of money.
It's tempting. But would you dabble at least? Would you try to monetize it at some point?
Obviously, I've come across a number of OnlyFans accounts, and not because I'm looking on OnlyFans. I don't have an account with OnlyFans. But almost any girl on Instagram, if they have their own link in their bio, like a link tree or something with like, and also I'm on Twitch. I browse Twitch a lot, just chatting, and a lot of these girls obviously have their Twitch tied to their Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and majority. I'm not gonna say I don't know the like 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, but definitely the majority of these attractive streamers all have OnlyFans.
Damn.
And yeah, you're right. I'm gonna say they're better than a 6 out of 10. Wait, was it 7, 8 out of 10? 6? What was it?
If you were 7 or 8 out of 10, 7 to 8 out of 10.
So apparently, too, you don't necessarily have to be nude or anything.
No.
Because your customer base or your client base subscribes understanding they could get something. And then they resubscribe or they renew their subscription if you do give them what they expect. But a lot don't. A lot maybe taunt with Instagram. Okay, not taunt. You tease with Instagram or Twitch. And you're like, oh, if you sign up for this, you can get exclusive content. But it's the same stuff. Apparently, it's the same stuff you can post on Instagram. So, like, if there's suckers,
there
if
you
there's
are.
suckers out there, oh what?
You disconnected for like a little bit.
Disconnected for a second.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what was the? Okay, what? I said, OnlyFans. You don't actually have to be nude. As long as you give someone or those subscribers, you give them enough of an incentive to think that they're going to get something exclusive, but then you don't actually give them something exclusive.
You can show them like your feet.
Yeah, you can
Show your feet.
You can just show them your feet. Oh my gosh, if you were just showing your, I would totally do it. I would just, even if I was a 7 out of 10 and I just had to take pictures of my feet, I would totally do OnlyFans. Because it's like, yeah,
on a balcony with like 5 dudes. And the first guy I asked was like, of course, yeah. What? These girls make a killing. Of course I would do it. Yo,
Yeah.
it'd be so easy.
It would be.
It'd be so easy.
You never know, man.
And it's like,
I mean,
especially now where there's this huge wave push for like women and like girls to feel liberated sexually, and this is my woman, like body and all that, and it's like they have like all this power. It's like, of course you'd, and you'd make a killing. You know,
I don't know.
You don't have to even be explicit. Like you could just like people, like dudes would pay. You know.
Okay, I'm glad you. Okay, because Linus Tech Tips. I saw this recently on Instagram. Or what's up, DayDay? Linus Tech Tips, as an April Fool's joke, started an OnlyFans account. You know who Linus Tech Tips is, Deji?
No.
It's this nerdy guy on YouTube who just builds computers. He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, computer builder on YouTube.
Okay.
Like he's like a corporation now. Like he makes a lot of money as a YouTuber, reviewing Intel stuff, AMD stuff. He builds computers, whatever. On April Fool's, as an April Fool's joke, he signs up for OnlyFans, and he actually built like a fan base. Like it was jokes. Like it's just him in boxers on a bed, like, you know, on whatever, or maybe pictures of his feet too. I don't know. What's up, Dan? Yo, check out this girl's feet. But it was such a joke. It's funny, but people were supporting it because they thought it's ironic, I guess, or it's comedic. But then they banned him. Eventually, they banned him. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think he probably violated terms of service, but maybe there was backlash among the community of the like, okay, look, he's making a mockery of things that we do, you know, seriously, whatever.
What? Man,
I appreciate
it's
it.
called OnlyFans. Like, man, you could be a fan or whatever.
Yeah, if people are paying for it,
Like,
I don't know. Okay, I don't know the details of why he got banned, but he got banned.
Someone snitched.
Linus has posted on their Facebook that their OnlyFans video now has limited monetization. Yeah, I don't know. He said, I became a top OnlyFans creator in one day. April 6, 2021.
Oh, someone was mad. That's just hate. That was just
Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of people kind of like band together and they're like,
I've been on my channel for 2 years. This motherfucker come one day and his shit blew up. Man, fuck this guy. I had a complaint. That's probably what happens. How it goes, man.
Okay, so you asked 5 guys, and they were pretty much in consensus
Yep.
that they would do it. Would you?
Yep. Does the Pope wear white?
Why do you have to be a 7 out of 10 girl though? Why not as a guy?
Because at that point it would be like, oh, I see what you mean.
Like, why not? Why don't we just do it? Period.
It's like cells, and it's like mostly like women.
You don't get as much money.
Yeah.
Basically.
You might not get any, but or as much. But if you can get any, isn't that a win? If there's someone out there, or some
yeah, but then
out
it's like double standards type thing. Too. Like, yo, man, you on OnlyFans, bro? No, man. But it's like if it's a girl, it's like a little bit more widely accepted. Like,
if you let's take that further then. You're swiping on the apps. You come across someone that you find attractive. You know it's not fake, whatever, and you find out she has an OnlyFans. Okay. Is that a win? Is that a plus or a minus? Is that a positive or a negative?
I don't look at that as a positive or negative. I look at that as a perspective, because I have yet to determine like what that's all about. Like, because that's such a nuanced thing, you know, like being online and like.
It's not.
It's not? You don't think so?
No.
You think it's black or white? Like it's just like. Tell me your opinion.
Like, how is it? Let's say they do the same kind of content that you would get on any kind of porn site. Let's just say.
Oh, so you're saying it's like OnlyFans, like sex?
No, not even if it's just them alone, whatever. But let's just say it's to the same level of like nudity or like revealing, like whatever the word is, exposing themselves. It's not all. Some of them are just maybe, as you can find, let's say, on a porn site.
Yeah, then that's the like extreme side of the spectrum still. Then in that case, like.
Okay, so that's the far side, right? So what would be the minimum? What do you think would be the minimum you need to do to have an OnlyFans? I don't even know. Is there
some
like
girls just, like get on there and just like strip tease, you know? Like I don't like have an OnlyFans, but I assume like some girls would just get up there and just strip tease or whatever, and just dance. Like some girls did on Instagram, they have the fucking like stripper poles and shit and dance in their room. Like,
exactly, you do this. You do the same thing on Instagram. I see it. Some people stream that stuff on Twitch live.
Yeah, so that's like the minimum. Tease. So that would be like the minimum, I guess.
That's the minimum. So assuming that's the minimum, now you know that this girl. Let's just say, it's like, you find out this girl has an OnlyFans and she's like, oh, I just post photos of my feet. Let's just say.
She's just like, I don't give a shit. Is she making money? Like, salute.
Okay,
like,
so.
Mans are paying for your feet?
Is there a line then? Is there a line? Like, what if now she shows it in a dress? Or maybe it's in a really tight dress. And then you find out, no, it's a swimwear. And then, no, maybe it's not swimwear, it's lingerie. And then, oh, maybe it's like some nudity. And then it's full nudity. And then it's activities.
I think why I say it's nuanced is because I think it matters who sees it.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's nuanced. Because, okay, say your girl is doing this, but you met this girl in fucking one of your random trips, like Brazil or something.
Right, just on a vacation, yeah.
You're there for 8 months. I don't give a shit. But if it's like a local person that I'm into and like there's a possibility other people I know will be checking that shit out, then it's like a problem. You know?
Okay, well, you know, there's teachers, nurses, people who have normal jobs who have OnlyFans. And then it's when their place of employment finds out. And then some of these teachers are being fired, are losing their jobs.
Well, I mean, like, I don't necessarily disagree with that, because I feel like you still have to have some level of caution. If you work in a professional environment, you are an employee of that establishment. Their like your reputation, kind of their. They don't want to be associated with that shit. So it's like, yeah, like you're supposed to have like understanding and like fairness for your employees, but you also sign like conduct. You know, it's like, yo, you have to represent the company. So I get it on both
Well,
sides.
it's not a public forum though. It's understood that it is an exclusive portal that's only a set.
On the internet. Like
It
I
is on
see
the internet.
like people post screenshots and shit from OnlyFans all the time. You never know. Like once it's uploaded,
So Kyle just said that would not fly for teachers. What if it was just their feet?
I think it's just the fact that it's on that platform.
Yeah, right. It's like this. It's the association.
Because teachers could post their feet on Instagram, and that'd be like, oh, whatever, look at the feet. But it's like, you posted something on Only. It's like the OnlyFans moniker, you know? It's like, oh shit.
Oh, there. I feel that that's introducing that double standard, because if it's the same content on Instagram, which is a public forum, but the only difference is it's associated with a brand of OnlyFans, where other users are taking it to different levels.
Well, and they're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And they're getting paid for it.
What's that? What's wrong? But if all you're showing is your feet, the same kind of content that you can put on Instagram. Okay, there's parodies I've seen on YouTube of people making fun of OnlyFans people and saying that it's the same as their Instagram, except maybe a different pose. Like it's the same photos that you'll see, like the same outfit, same kind of photo shoot, but on their OnlyFans, it's the rest of the photo shoot. Whereas Instagram would only show the one photo, or let's say 2 photos. But on OnlyFans, it's the rest of the photo shoot, but it's the same level of exposure, right?
Yeah.
So some people want to pay for the extra. You can do that without OnlyFans. You could just do that on Patreon. You could do that with PayPal donation. You could do that with whatever, your own website, personal website.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the branding thing now. It's just Instagram versus the brand. Kyle says, I see. Well, OnlyFans does imply a certain type of content, and that will not go well with school boards. Very true.
Yeah. Gotta think about the kids, man. Your teacher was doing what?
It's like, my teacher was opening a bottle with her toes. I found it intriguing. Anyway, DayDay, what's up?
Yeah,
What's
you're
up?
in like a purple. You're in like Tron.
He's got a circle. He's got a halo.
Computer.
He's got a halo, man.
Yeah,
Like,
my
looks like
place is a
Sauron's
mess,
lair.
so I just
Oh wait, Mike actually has Sauron's eye. That's crazy. I didn't say that.
yeah.
Okay, I had asked Deji over the last 5 years, did he feel that he lived above his means, below his means, within his means, or whatever? And did it leave room for more to be desired? Deji, you said you were above your means, which is what introduces debt. Is that what you say? Would you say?
Well, no, I just had like some like bad breaks.
Misfortune, unlucky situations.
And like some like the move, my last move was costly. Because like a whole bunch of shit just went wrong at the wrong time.
Okay, but you can see your exit. You have a solution in the long run,
actively
right?
Clearing it, so that's good. It's incrementally
Being reduced, right?
Yes.
Like the interest is not higher than your payments.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Good. DayDay or Mike, can you guys answer that same question? Last 5 years, do you feel you've been within your means? Or did you feel like... Because it's a choice. You either choose to live... Let's say you have this standard you want to live, but maybe you don't have the income that can support it, but you want to live it, and that introduces debt. Or you're on the other side where there's a standard of life that you want, but you can't afford it, and so you settle for this lower standard of life so that you can afford to not introduce debt.
Definitely over.
That's kinda
Wait,
mad.
what does that mean?
Like over my means.
You've been living over your means,
Yes.
so you're introducing more and more debt?
I did for a while, yeah.
Okay. And then?
And
What
then
happened?
I realized I was stupid, and then I paid off my credit cards.
Okay. And that set you back.
Yeah, yeah.
Lifestyle-wise, you did feel that dip for a while?
Mm-hmm. But I knew it was temporary, so it didn't really matter to me.
Okay. And now?
Now it's good. It's like I would say I'm still a bit above, but like not to where it was before, where I just didn't really care.
Okay. You're not introducing more debt.
No.
So you're kind of balanced. You're kind of
Ye-
content. You don't
Yeah.
really necessarily want more in life. You have everything you need, want?
Well, no, there's lots of things I want in life, but I'm not there yet, so I'm just like trying to focus on, you know, what's absolutely necessary right now versus, the occasional like the want,
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I ask the next question for everybody, Mike, you want to answer?
I think I've been living. I think I've been living within my means. Like I'm trying to find like a routine. What is it? A routine or a way to keep my costs low. But it's just there's so many things that just pop up that like, I don't know. Impulsive buys, things happen. Other people want something, or you have to do something, or these extra costs just come out of nowhere.
Okay.
But I think I've been living within my means for the past 5 years. I think.
Well, even with these extra
I'm not in debt,
costs,
so that's good.
Right.
Oh, I'm in like ridiculous debt now, but
no,
good
yeah,
debt.
yeah, that's a different kind of. A house is something else. But oh, sorry if I was not allowed to say that. My bad. Okay. The next next.
Oh, what'd you say? N-word?
yeah, yeah. What the? What'd you say?
Would you call me? Okay. The next level of that is when we were young, all of us. Did you want to be how wealthy did you want to be? Let's just make that general. How wealthy did you want to be? Who wants to go first?
When we were young?
Yeah, when we were growing up in school, obviously we have no costs, right?
Yeah.
We didn't really have jobs yet. We didn't have to worry about paying for things yet. So we had this like imagination of what it's going to be like as an adult with money. I used to want a Lamborghini. I used to want a mansion and a plane and a boat. So
Yeah,
what
when I was
kind
a
of... Yeah, go ahead.
when I was a little kid, and my parents would be driving, and I'd be in the back seat. They'd drive past all these like random houses, and anytime we drove past a huge ass mansion, I'd be like, I'm gonna buy that one day. Oh, I'm gonna buy that one. And then we drive past another one, and be like, I think I'm gonna live in that one too,
That one too, as well.
as well. In addition,
Okay, obviously.
I'll
Okay.
be my own neighbor.
Okay, were we all kind of like that, or just like, oh, and anything is attainable?
yeah, basically.
So how did that change? And like, oh yeah, okay, Mike, go first. If it was,
I don't think I've ever, I don't think I've ever thought to want to be like uber rich. I don't know. What did I think when I was a kid? I
Did
don't
you
know what
picture
I
a
thought when I was
house?
a kid.
Did you picture
Yeah.
living in a house?
Yeah, but
Did it
that's
have a
given
1-car
for
garage,
everyone,
2-car garage, or a 3-car garage?
when I was like really, really young, I just wanted something simple. Like I never thought to be like excessively rich. Yeah. But now I'm
Yeah.
like more so like that. It'd be good to have more like financial freedom as opposed to just being excessively rich and spending a ridiculous amount. Just like it'd be nice to not have to think about money. That's probably my goal.
Were there TV shows, let's say, for any of you that modeled the kind of lifestyle you wanted?
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice, you want to just fire people? You're fired.
No, I'm talking more like living conditions. Like, you know, if it was Full House, Fresh Prince, Seinfeld, or Friends. I liked Fresh Prince. You know? He had a mansion and like a butler.
Mhm.
Full House,
when I was young, I understood that was like. You ever like watch a movie when you're young and you don't realize how rich they are? Like when you watch Home
Yeah.
Alone when you're older, you're like, damn, they're rich.
Yeah, man.
But when you're young, you're like, that's a normal family.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like for me, I thought about when I looked back at James Bond. Like obviously he's a spy, he's got like all this extra money or whatever, but like they'll always show this ridiculous excluded property whenever he's like chilling or with a lady or and the cars and all that stuff. You know, and you get jealous for his car and you like his suits and the women he's with, but then you think about, okay, well, does he actually like live anywhere? Like, does he have a house, a home? Probably doesn't. I think there's wealth out there where people could literally just stay anywhere they want, whenever they want, and not have to have a house, right? I don't know why they even they're buying houses, but... Okay, where was I going with that? How did it change? How did your view of, let's say, how wealthy you wanted to be come to reality and then evolve? Oh, Kyle says, when I am watching Home Alone as a kid, I most definitely thought, damn, they're rich.
I think for me it was MTV Cribs.
TV.
I was like, damn, that would be nice to have. And then, you know, you realize you're not a rapper. I think the most ridiculous one I saw was Akon's. That was the most ridiculous one. He had a gas station in his in his backyard.
So that means he has a gas pit, like
Yeah, like he had a spot where
a
like
gas
he
a
fills in the
gasoline
gas.
truck comes and
He
fills
doesn't,
that.
and he was talking about how like he doesn't like filling up gas, so he just does it at home. Wow.
Oh my goodness. If he switches to electric, it's the same thing.
Smaller footprint.
So yeah, anyone? How it changed? Like, I don't want a mansion anymore. I mean, would I don't even know if I would want one. If I could get one, would I get one? No. I don't want. Or a Lamborghini. If I could buy one, would I get one? No. I wouldn't
Oh, you
buy a
mean-
Lamborghini.
You wouldn't buy it even if you could get one?
Yeah, if I was a millionaire and I could afford buying a Lamborghini,
You were a
I
billionaire.
wouldn't. A billionaire? Nah.
What if you were a billionaire?
To buy it? Probably not. No. Thinking of like the knowledge we have now financially of like how stupid it is. Because I'm gonna buy it. Let's
You
say
would
I'm a
lease it.
billionaire.
But you can afford it now.
You would lease
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but then I'd only drive it how little, and I'd have to store it somewhere, and then I'd have to worry about insuring it and all those extra costs. Sure, I could afford all those extra costs, but why? But why? There's no point. I get to drive it maybe like a week, and I have to pay for it for the rest of the year. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I could just rent it. If I want to drive it one day, I'll rent it. I don't have to pay for security, this like make sure that no one steals it, or it's the insurance, and then the actual cost of the car, which I won't even get to really, yeah. I'd be cool with renting it.
I think it's more about like what you're more into, because I'm not really into cars, so I wouldn't be buying a Lamborghini. But if it was something that also costed a lot and I had the money that other people think is just too much to spend,
Like what?
I would. What would I buy? I don't know. What do you think I would spend a stupid amount of money on if I was a
Oh,
billionaire?
like a sick like gaming room.
Yeah, I would. I would pay. I would buy that. But if it's not your thing, then people wouldn't buy that, right? But I would buy that.
Dan said climbing camping gear. Yeah, no, but a Lamborghini is stupid though. Like,
Why? Why
But,
is that
like-
stupid?
because you're buying a car, it's a status thing. I understand that it's a status thing. You get to drive it on the road for people to look at you. And so you need to show who's driving it to associate that wealth with you. Right? It's
for
not
other-
about top speed, because you'll never drive it at top speed, which is what it's built for. It's not about acceleration or whatever, because again, you're not gonna, unless you take it on a track or whatever. But who would do that with a Lamborghini that they buy? They wouldn't do that.
So you're saying Lamborghinis are built for top speeds?
No. Well, oh,
You
the
can buy
technology,
something.
the
you can
technology,
buy something
yes.
for the appreciation. You don't have you appreciate. You like Lamborghinis because they look cool. Not that
Oh, you
you
mean-
want to have it as a status symbol. Some people have a certain fascination for certain cars. Like they
Oh,
would buy
okay.
like a Bugatti because it has really, really like the highest top speed according to video
Like-
games.
Like oh right. So like
You know what
it's
I mean?
just
Like,
just to own it. You're saying?
yeah, like if people love cars, they'll buy the car that they want.
Yeah,
It's
Jay
not
Leno.
necessarily like I'm buying this car to look cool. Well, I'm sure some people do, but
Okay,
that's
that-
how
no,
I
that's
would
fine.
be doing a purchase. So that's
But when
that's why
I was younger, I wanted a Lambo, and now I won't buy one because that's how I evolved. Like I wanted one when I was younger, and I evolved to understand that I don't want it that way. I don't want it this for the same reason as collectors want it, or for the
Yeah.
appreciation of having it. If you like, I don't know, a whole set of Pokemon cards, the full set of holographic Pokemon cards. Some people might do that, and they might buy all of them, even if they're super expensive on eBay or whatever. Though they want a full set, yeah, they might do that, like a collectible stuff. Collectibles are can very easily be rationalized as that, like that luxury, because there is no actual utilitarian value besides it as having ownership over something. But climbing gear and camping gear, Dan said, you're gonna buy the most expensive, the best stuff, the way it's built for. Yeah, that makes sense. You want the best so that you can use it, and again, utilitarian. A gaming room, utilitarian. Like you want the best gear, you want the fastest FPS, the coolest experience when you're watching a movie or gaming. Yeah, makes sense. It's utilitarian.
yeah, that's what I meant. Like it's more like everyone has their reasons to buy. So
Okay. So if you were a billionaire, you said you'd spend ridiculous money on a gaming room. Would you buy a mansion? You can.
I would.
Sure would.
Yeah, cool.
You'd buy a mansion, like
Yeah.
like a Michael Jordan kind of house. And
Yeah,
why?
why not?
Why not?
Okay, why?
Because you're a
If I can
billionaire.
afford it.
Yeah.
If I can afford
Okay.
it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like, and I'll just like have people over all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
If
the
you
house
can build
wouldn't be
it-
for just me.
yeah,
The house would be for me and friends and family.
yeah. You can build it
Okay.
from the like if you had that much money. Okay, let's pretend we had unlimited amount of money.
Oh man.
I wouldn't buy Michael Jordan's
Jeff-
mansion. I'd buy
Jeff
my
Bezos.
mansion. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like I'd build
yeah.
it from the ground up. I'd put in what,
You think
what I
it
want in it.
Yeah, you think about what it will serve, right? It's not just you can add utility to it, right? Oh, then you can have this many people over. You can have this kind of parties or whatever. I am starting to think more and more that I would not even have a house. That I would
You'd have a
just-
mansion. Just-
No, like I would just anywhere I wanted to go, I would just
Yeah,
go to the penthouse and just live in a penthouse for that duration. And then I'd move somewhere else, and then I'd have a penthouse there, and I would live in there for that duration. I don't necessarily think, I need a permanent place in the ground. I don't know. It depends if you have a family. Obviously, if you have a family, it's different.
I don't know if the question is, would you buy a mansion if you're a billionaire, or if the question is, would you settle versus travel around? Like, what's
Well,
the question?
people would do both. No, the point was wealth and how wealthy did you want it to be, and all of a sudden it went to like, because I was talking about a Lamborghini, how I wouldn't buy one anymore, even though I wanted one before, because I think utilitarian. Like I'm thinking, if I can't make use of it, it's just a waste of money. Ownership to me is not. I know I don't see value in ownership if you're that wealthy because you have access. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I guess that's just
Okay.
me. It's just me. That's fine.
Makes sense. It's okay.
Okay. I guess, you know, for the most part, if you plan on having family or like kids or whatever, you want to earn enough so that they're gonna be taken care of generally. Yeah? Does that relate to anybody here? If you're thinking family in the future, you want to earn enough so that they won't struggle.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Or if you're single and you're happy and you want to be single and you like the single lifestyle, you know, maybe it doesn't even go that far. You just want to have enough so that you can enjoy your life. Something like that. I don't know. Okay.
What was the question? Sorry, go ahead, say it again.
To provide for the family, yes. The answer is yes.
Or if you're single and you don't plan on having a family, do you expect that your wealth you want to maximize your wealth until you die? Like, or do you want to leave something behind, like wealth? Do you want to leave any wealth behind?
No.
Yeah, for the less fortunate.
For the less fortunate. But it would only go after you die, not when you're living?
Both.
I do it for tax purposes.
And then give it to like friends and stuff that were like. I would meet people randomly, and they would have no idea, which and just be. And after like 5 years, by the way, billion.
Cutting off really badly. I don't.
I wish I
Yeah.
could do that too. I wish I could just like, I would be like super rich and go into like the rich stores and like bum clothing. See how they would.
And make those videos, those I forget what those are called. They're so annoying. I wanted to be rich enough where I could go into. It doesn't even have to be like a Saks Fifth or a Halt Renfrew or whatever, but just going into a store that I like, could even just be Zara, and like something, and not have to look at the price tag and just take it to the counter and be like, I'll like to buy this, and then leave. That's the kind of wealth that would be really nice, where I don't have to look at the price tag of something, but want something. You know, oh, I want a Tesla Model S. I think I'll buy one tomorrow. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah,
like
I think that's the ultimate goal.
MKBHD. You know, MKBHD. I think he could pretty much do that.
Who is that?
Oh, the Marquez Brownlee on YouTube, who reviews like iPhones, every phone, and Teslas. He's like the #1 tech reviewer in YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the goal with financial freedom. That's the goal, to not have to think about money.
But like Bezos, Zuckerberg, who's the Microsoft guy again?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. Like, what about that kind of wealth? Is that too much?
No.
I'll take it. If they'll get...
Obviously, you'll
I'll
take it.
There's no such thing as too much.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing with it, you mean? And you won't be corrupted by it, and you won't be changed by it.
That's a different thing. If we're strictly just talking about wealth, then there's no such thing as too much.
Well, I think it's too much when it changes you. It's for the worse. Like, let's say all the values you have now, you think, you know, but then you have so much later, you become some elitist Illuminati type of person in the top, where you only want it for yourself. Let's say the greed. What if it introduces greed? Because obviously it's gonna introduce greed.
Yeah, because
The more you have, the more you're gonna want. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, can't think about that. We're trying to just
then-
get the money now.
just money
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, I'll worry about that when I get there.
Yeah. If it
When you
changes-
get there.
it changes.
Well, it actually already happens. I'm sure you guys, at some point when we were growing up, we had a certain level of income and we had a certain lifestyle and we were happy. But as we made more money, our tastes got, like, not even tastes, like our lifestyle, we started buying more expensive things because we can. What's affordable to us changes our lifestyle. And now
Yeah,
we
but
won't.
that doesn't. But does that mean that's a bad thing?
No, but there is a line when it becomes like you just said, $1 billion. So easy for us to think of. Okay, but yeah, even in our mindset, to spend $1 billion, yeah, probably can't. Probably can't, unless.
Oh, I could spend it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll find a way.
I'll spend that.
What I'm trying to get at is, do you not think you'll hit an equilibrium where you're like, this is good, I'm happy with this, and I don't need any more?
I don't want that. Ever.
Okay, why?
Ever. Because then you're being complacent. You're just like,
No.
okay, I'm happy with this, and then this is what
No.
this is
There's a-
enough. And then
There's a difference between complacency and content, and being content.
if you're but just because you're content doesn't mean you have to tell yourself, okay, I stop now.
Stop what?
Whatever, like for more things, for more growth or more wealth or whatever it is. If you're content, then does that mean that you're not allowed to want more?
It's not about allowing, it's you don't want anymore. Being
Right,
content
so
means you
you
don't
just-
want anymore. Complacency is, you know what? I don't think I can push myself to do anymore. I'm going to settle. That's complacency. Content is, I don't want anymore. I'm happy.
You can always find a reason to spend. You can always find a way to use that money, that extra money that you get later anyway. So
If you have the means, yeah.
I'm not
If you
gonna
have the
like if
means.
yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna stop myself from making more money once I reach that point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have it-
but
I'll reach the
Yeah,
point
like,
where it's
let's
like
say-
I'm happy, right? Like,
Let's say you hit 100K a year salary, like, and then you're content, right? If somebody offers you 150K a job,
Mhm.
you're not gonna take that because you're content.
am I going to take, is it the same job? Is it going to change my life where I'm going to have to sacrifice more of my time where I'm happy with doing the things I want for $50,000?
Well, it's a different job, right? So I would assume yes.
Well, if I
Which-
want that job, but if I am happy with my current job and I'm happy, like I'm fulfilled, I get to come home, I
Right.
don't feel like whatever, and I have $100,000 a year where I'm not in debt, and I'm still saving, let's say, for the future of my kids. I love my job. Why would I want $50,000 more for a job that I don't love?
Well, you don't know that because you haven't taken it yet.
well, you
Okay,
weigh
that's
it
my
out.
point.
Well, you weigh it
But
out.
you would
If
only
if you
you'd
know-
only take it if you feel like maybe I should want to try something new. But
Yeah,
someone who's
like-
content won't say that. Someone who's content won't be like, oh, you know what I mean? It's not like,
No, I
because you're
don't.
putting in the extra thing that's like, oh, that extra $50,000 is not worth it because that job sucks.
Okay,
If
well,
it's the
fine.
exact,
Not even
what
that.
if it's not? What
if
if
it's the
not?
exact same job and you get an extra $50,000,
of course I'll take that.
There's
That's-
no way that
that
they'll
is-
give you the same job for 50K.
I'm
Obviously,
saying you'll
that's-
get the same, like if you get the same satisfaction from that job with the extra 50,000K, then yeah, you take it.
Of course,
But
that's.
but FJ,
that's-
what you're
that's
trying to say
easy.
is your life is going to get significantly harder once you get 150,000. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. Content. Like the example is, if you're content with, like DayDay's premise was at 100K a year, you're content. So he used the word content. When you can say the word content, you're happy with your life. That also means you're not wondering what if. It's like, man, I'm happy here. This is what I wanted. This is exactly how I wanted to live my life.
Okay.
He premised the example with the word content, and that's what that
Yeah.
means.
Yeah.
And then someone's gonna be like, "Hey, look at this different job here. I'm gonna pay you $50,000 more a year if you take this job." And I'm the guy who was like, "But I'm happy right now." So
so
let's
you
see.
wouldn't take it.
I'd have to be like, "Well, what's $50,000 gonna do to my life?" Like, not
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's gonna destroy my life," but it's like, "But what am I having to sacrifice from me being happy right now to get that extra $50,000?" You know, and there's
But
a
if
way.
you're
Yeah,
con-
you
It's
gotta
not
weigh it.
like
But
that's
if you're
assume-
content, then
way you're
why
saying
do
it
you
is more
question
like-
that?
yeah.
Sorry, wait, who? What?
Go ahead, Mike.
So the
I was
way
getting too
FJ, yeah, because the way FJ described it is, what am I sacrificing? But what does that like? You
Yeah,
the only thing
yeah.
you don't know is you're unsure if the job is actually good or
If I
bad or
get
not.
a raise, if you change the example to, I think what Mike's trying to say is, if I'm in the same job, $100,000, but I've been working for the company for 10 years and I'm awesome at it and they love me and they're like, "You know what, F, we want to give you a raise to $150,000 a year because you've been amazing," and they're just giving me a raise, of course I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna be like, "You know what, it's okay." Of course I'm gonna take it. That's a raise. But I have to weigh things if things are changing. If I'm content with something and then you introduce potential change in my life, I have to weigh that. I have to weigh that for the cost benefit, right? Like, isn't that what people do?
Right, but my point was, if you're content, you by what you said earlier was you don't really want more because you're happy with what you have, right? So
Mhm.
if you're content, why do you question that? Why do you question what is this new job with 50K plus gonna what am I gonna have to sacrifice for that? Like, why do you
Exactly. You don't even have to ask. If you're content, you won't even wonder.
Right. And that is my point. I would never want to be in a position where I hit a level and I'm like, okay, this is enough.
Okay, what's enough
way.
though in your head? Is it what is
Whatever
wealth
it is.
for? No, what is wealth for?
What is wealth for? It's for
Like, this is monetary wealth. This is what we're talking about, right?
uh-huh.
So what is monetary wealth for?
I think even if I was content doesn't mean I wouldn't be willing to explore something different. Yes.
Ain't
Yeah.
it?
You just weigh it out. That's a decision. You don't know
Yeah.
what the job is, so you just
Willing
weigh it
to
out.
explore something different is fine. You can wonder that. It's not an automatic yes, it's not an automatic no. You'll think about it. If I'm super happy with my life, I love my job. The big thing there is I love my job. If you don't, you're going to question. If there's still something maybe missing potential, you're going to question. But if you love your job, you love your job and you love the people you work with, you love the location, it's close to home, whatever it is, all the stuff, it matters. Okay, so we're past that example. It's just like, seriously, like, what is monetary wealth for? It's to provide us the ability to afford
There, you guys can hear me?
the lifestyle that we live. I do
yes.
now, yeah. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, cool. Trying a different mic.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is for, the way the means to the way you live your lifestyle and all that, and how you want to live and what you want to be able to do what you want, right? Like, so that's the point. I understand that. I guess I was just confused because to me it's like content and I would put content and complacent the same thing, because if you're content, you're happy, yeah, but you also don't want more, and you're not settling, but it's more like you stopped wanting more. So that's why I kind of view them the same way. And it's like, if someone were to ask me, are you happy where you are right now? I guess I wouldn't really be the one to say, yeah, I have exactly where, like, everything I want right now. Like, I would never ever say that, because then
Ever?
yeah, because you should always go for more. You should always want more things. And
Why things? Why do they have to be things you have to buy?
okay, when I say things, I don't mean like material things. I mean like goals or whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like just strictly your job. Like I'm talking about
Okay.
like wealth, right?
So goals
And
have to equate to wealth.
no, I like your life goals, whatever it is that you want to do, is related to wealth for most cases, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if you're just happy with the way that the income you have and the expenses you have and the lifestyle you have. I don't think that's
It's
like
good.
no. Well, it's good, but it's like it's bad. I think it's bad if it stops uh motivating you to do more.
More for myself or for others? Is
Whatever
there
it
like a
is. It
moral
could be
aspect?
yourself, it could be for others. It doesn't really matter what the reason is, but as like if it stops you from growing, then then I think it's a bad thing. I can want growth in a skill, not necessarily more and more money. So if I can make enough money that allows me to put time into something I really want to learn, I will be yeah, exactly. But in order for you to be able to do what you want, I like you would have to be at a point where you don't really have to worry about money, right?
Yeah.
So
But you said ever. You said you'll never hit
yes,
that line. Let's say you're gonna hit 100,000. Let's say you hit 1,000,000. Let's say you hit 1,000,000,000. And at your 1,000,000,000, what you're saying is, I'm gonna want more wealth.
yeah.
Because you at that point you envision that you're gonna want more things, not necessarily
Like if you
material things, but
like
you're gonna want to make more change. You're gonna make more impact on the world or something. Like, where's the morality here?
yeah, that could be one thing too. But like
Is
I
it
guess
for the sake of? Are you talking about increasing wealth for the sake of having more wealth, just for that?
yeah,
If there's a
well,
utility for it,
that's your
that's something
to
else.
see your
But
potential, right? Like why stop there? Like you've already hit 1,000,000, you've hit 1,000,000,000. Why what makes you think, okay, this is the spot where I stop?
what was that up?
I don't know.
Yet.
I said I'm gonna use that as a thumbnail. Okay, okay. So
Well, there is a difference between content, like happy, content,
and
and being
complacent.
complacent. Yeah, there is a difference.
Complacent is you're not happy.
Yeah,
Complacency
complacent.
is
Oh, complaints is you're
definitely
not happy.
settling.
Yeah,
You're
got it.
settling because you're unwilling to push further,
Unwilling to push
Gotcha.
further. Yeah.
and you are settling. Like that is very much tied to the word complacency is settling. But when you're content, you're not settling. Like that's all you want, and you don't want anymore.
You don't. Okay, you don't need more. You don't
You don't
need
need
more. You
more.
don't want more. But if if it's there and you still can do it without sacrificing your happiness, then
So
it's
you don't
Yeah,
want more,
then you'll
but if
take it.
it's if it's there, then you'll consider it.
not
What's
consider it.
there?
You'll take it. You know what I mean? Like it's not that Jeff Bezos or even like what was it, Warren Buffett. It's not like they need any more money. They just like the process of making more money, and that's in a
Yeah,
way that's them being content and happy. It's not tied to their wealth, their growth and wealth.
it's not about them having access to things they didn't have access to before. Their goal now has become wealth. And if you are explaining that as that's your drive, like you have now equated like your kind of life goal is to maximize monetary wealth. Okay, fine. That's fine. Like you've defined it as in that manner, fine. There's nothing wrong with setting that as the life goal. The only thing I would just introduce as a question or for you to think about is just for what purpose? Like
Because you like it,
if
because you're
if
happy. You enjoy, like people enjoy, like they enjoy making money, so they keep doing it. That's their purpose. The purpose is for their happiness.
and this is the same question I'll ask for anybody who is that, who what you just defined. My question would be, at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you hit some number that you were striving for. Like anyone here watch Up in the Air? It's fine. Anyway, so he was also striving for like a ridiculous status level of accumulating air miles, basically, or like travel miles. But let's just go back to wealth. At the end of your life, you know, as you said, you're gonna continue to max out, and you're gonna get higher and higher wealth. And at the end of your life, technically, if you followed your goal, you'd be at your maximum wealth, right?
Do you mean Up in the Air with George Clooney?
Yeah, with George Clooney. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that. And Farrah, fuckers.
Anna Fair. Oh, shoot. Anna Kendrick.
Name.
It was Anna Kendrick, right?
She called him a parenthesis. I was like, damn, that's heartless. But yeah, anyway, carry on.
Okay, so the question is, at the end of your life, your max. You've hit your max because you're gonna die. You're about to die, and you're at the maximum wealth. And I just ask, what did it serve you? Sure, it made you happy, it made you driven, made you push for further. I don't know how you attain it, as long as hopefully you're attaining it within moral means and not at the cost and destruction of others or hurting other people or whatever it is. Let's say you hit it in the most genuine and most self-gratifying ways as possible. But ultimately, I would just want you to see what the material wealth is for in the world, like in existence. What is the purpose of having wealth if you are not spending it? Like,
but it's
all
not
these
about
people...
spending. Like, I'll give you a good example. Actually, Warren Buffett.
Okay.
He likes the process. He doesn't care about the money. I mean, obviously, he cares about the money. He doesn't care. He doesn't set a goal for the money. He likes the process of making money. So he actually, him and I don't know, Bill Gates or whatever, they pledged to donate 99% of their wealth. So that's an example. That's the
there you go. But there you go.
But
though.
you're talking.
That is...
You're talking. Okay, so explain.
Okay, specific. What you just explained is awesome, because they're maximizing something at 99% upon, let's say they're dead. They're gonna donate. That's spending it, and that is for a good cause. Like, they're gonna make a huge impact in the world. They enjoy the process, yes. And if somehow the metric that they can measure their achievement. The only metric of assessing their achievement is how much money, like their actual, how much total money they have at the time. Sure, that's fine. That's okay. Is that the same with DayDay? DayDay, is that what you're describing?
I mean, even if he doesn't donate the money, it goes somewhere. Like,
yeah,
you know,
it'll go somewhere. I just don't know. Like, I haven't set a thing where like, oh, I'm gonna hit this amount, and then when it does, then I'm gonna do this. I don't have, like, it's
so it's similarly, you also just enjoy the process and to maximize.
Yes.
That is what defines the happiness in your life now, making more money.
No, it doesn't define it. It's just something that I like to do. It doesn't mean that that's the only thing that makes me happy, but it's just something that I enjoy doing. And for me to set a point where it's like, okay, now that I have this much, that's enough. That just seems
because then
really
you lose your
stupid
happiness.
to me.
You lose your you like the process. If you put a cap on the amount of money you make, then the process stops. So if you like the process, there's no goalpost for the amount of money you make.
I didn't set a monetary limit. Like, if you're talking about making $100,000 a year, you're still making $100,000 a year every year. Like, there's no limit there. It's a lifestyle. It's a standard of living that you've introduced given the wealth that you have. I didn't say, as soon as I hit $1 billion, I'm going to stop making money. No, that's not what I said. I'm not saying it's a monetary target of how much you have in total, and then you're just going to choose to like end your job and retire and like just spend until you're down to zero. Whatever it is, I don't know. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Is that what you thought I was talking about? Like, you're just going to stop making money once I hit $1 million or $1 billion?
Yeah, you said what's the point where you would stop?
What's the point where the question was what point would you stop? And I was like, why would you stop?
Increasing your wealth, like your income, like your life's livelihood. Like, if you obviously growing up, we have debt, school, we have like we want to have a home, and you don't want to pay for mortgage anymore. You have to pay off your house. You want whatever level of cars, or if you're collecting anything, you have your collections, but you have all the things you need in life are covered. All the things you need in life are covered. Right? And then the family, you can take them traveling, you can put food on the table, you can eat whatever you want, you can dress them, whatever. All of this stuff is all the stuff you need. Right? If you need to make more money to be happy, then you need that. You're saying that's a need. Right? I'm not talking about needs. I was like, if you have everything, well, if that's your need, I mean, that's your need. If you define your happiness with a need to make more money all the time, that's the only, again, you're defining those people that I said. I would introduce the question, what's it for? And if your answer is it's just to do it, I'm going to continue to ask you what's it for. I'm not going to stop asking the point. Because
what if that is the point?
Yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And hey, like I said, if that's it, that's it. I'm not knocking your drive to make more. I'm only gonna introduce the question.
I'm not saying it like just like I'm not talking about just me. I'm just saying like just because that is something that doesn't make sense to you doesn't mean it's wrong, right?
I didn't say it was wrong. I'm just gonna continue asking what's it for.
I see.
You're gonna continue to make more money. I'm gonna see, let's just say down the line, wow, DayDay's got sick life, he's happy, all that stuff. And he's like, and then we talk and you're like, yeah, man, I made this much, but next year I'm gonna want to make this much more. And I'm gonna be, why? I'm just gonna be like,
I'd be like, yeah,
well,
for me,
he likes the process.
Just for me, yeah, it's for
But
me.
sure.
but what FJ is focusing on is what do you do with that extra money? Is that what you're trying to say? What do you do with that
like,
extra
what's
money?
the
None of your
point
business.
No, I'm not asking you for the answer, dude. I'm asking you to define the value of wealth. And if you don't want to, that's okay. But that's how I've defined it. As you said, it doesn't make you wrong, doesn't make me wrong, make me right, you right. But it's a difference in view of perspective of like the morality behind wealth. It's just like religion or faith or whatever. If we have a difference of opinion about something, we have a difference in it. But I'm going to continue to question it if it doesn't make sense to me. If you don't,
of wealth.
yeah, like what's it for? If the part of you, what's it for? And to me,
what is what for? Is the
wealth?
Are you asking about the excess wealth, like after what your needs are met, or
after needs are met? Well,
after
not
the
just
needs are met,
because it's wants too.
You're questioning us. What is it for after we meet our needs, right? Like if we have enough to survive, we have enough for whatever we want to spend on but we still want to make more money.
Yeah,
you're asking what is that extra money for? Is that the question?
Yes. Yeah, because from what you've decided, you'll never be content, and if that's true, that's fine. If you're saying that you'll never be content in life because you're just going to always want more wealth, if that's how it is, that's how it is. I
think my point was I just don't want to hit a point where it feels like I'm at a spot where it's just the same thing over and over, the same job that pays you whatever and you're happy with the lifestyle, but then you're just repeating the same thing day in day out and there's nothing that changes. But at the same time, they can be content with the process.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying about Warren Buffett. So DayDay likes the process of making money. That extra money, they don't even think about. That extra money will go somewhere. Doesn't matter whether it stays with you.
The question is phrased sounds like you're putting more wealth in a negative connotation.
No, I'm not. I asked for the line, like the limit. And it's an individual line for everybody. Like the extra money, there's nothing negative. If I am content in life and and I have access to more income, let's just say trading or whatever, or I put investments and I'm way content in life, but my investments continue to do and bring me more wealth. Am I saying it's negative? No. Am I pushing myself out of my level of content and happiness to achieve more money? No. I'm getting more wealth, and I'm living the life that I want to live. I'm content and making more money. That's fine. I'm saying and you're saying that too. You're living a life, you're trading, you're making a lot of money, and you're just going to continue making more money because you love trading, and you're going to continue to do it because you're so good at it that it'll just continue making you more money. And if the purpose of your life is to continue and maximize that until you can't do it anymore, that's fine. I even said that. I said if that's how you define your happiness, to hit being content in life is to maximize that by the time you can't do it anymore, that's fine.
Okay, so why are you asking the question
Okay,
again?
so then why is the question why? Like I don't.
Because if that's how you want to define your life, let's say it's active, it's input, it's taking energy from you in order to make just more money. Like that's what it is. Because you don't need it. You don't need it, right? We've defined now. You've hit a point where you don't need it anymore. It makes you happy just doing it. Sure. But if you're saying that there is nothing else in life that you think perhaps that could be better, or maybe something more useful, or maybe more beneficial to you that could maybe even make you happier than that, besides putting the energy to make more money, then
Like,
I don't know. That's
Isn't
fine.
that a different question?
That's a different question because more wealth
How is that
allows
different,
you to
dude?
because more wealth allows you to pursue a better lifestyle than the one that you have currently.
Yeah. And you're saying,
So,
but dude, oh my god, guys, you're okay. I'm not talking about a monetary limit. Like I'm striving to hit $1 trillion, and once I hit $1 trillion, I'm done. If your lifestyle includes income, a set income that lets you live the way you do, I think you are looking at content in two different ways. Oh, fine. Dan, define it for us. One could be content and happy with their lifestyle or any aspect in life and still want growth, versus content meaning I'm not doing anything else. No, that's not. Oh God. I don't even look at it as the second one. I don't even look at it like the second one.
We're trying to understand you.
I was looking at it as a second one. I think you were talking about it in the first one. So
okay, growth, right? Growth. I'm talking about monetary wealth, and you've associated personal growth with growth in monetary wealth. If that's it, fine. I don't, and that's fine. Okay, and because I don't necessarily have to associate growth in monetary wealth with personal growth in anything else life related, I'm going to ask you what's it for.
Okay.
And you're like, it makes me happy making more money. I'm like, okay, all right, sure. The extra number of dollars you'll have in your account or in your possession, in your identity, you are now this much wealthier in life, makes you happy. Great.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, why? And I'm just going to continue to ask you why. If you're unhappy with me asking you why, you could be like, stop asking. And that's fine. But in my mind, I'm like, what's that wealth for? What's it bringing them besides the status of having more money? Because that's what it is at that point. Because if you can afford anything you need, if you can experience whatever it is, personal growth where you want to do, it could be travel, or you want to become a better, I don't know, snowboarder, or I don't know, archery, something new, any kind of new interest that you want, you can afford to do with your current wealth status. The only drive to make more, the only thing that's pushing you to make more monetary wealth is the fact that you want to make more monetary wealth. That's the only reason. But everything else in life that you could that can make you happy, you can already afford. So that's why I'm gonna be like, then why are they constantly just trying to make more money? Are they never gonna be happy? Are they never gonna be content? Because that's not growth at that point. It's monetary growth.
You're content with the process. Like you're happy doing what you're doing, and you're doing it. What you're doing is making more money.
Yeah. So Warren Buffett, let's say, DayDay, whatever, in part of the finish line or whatever that is, Warren Buffett's going to continue to make more money, right? He's not going to stop himself from making more money. He has a lifestyle now, right? He can do whatever he wants and not have to really think about wealth anymore.
Okay.
And yet he'll continue to, So he wants to maximize it at the end. 99% he's going to donate. That's that in itself, the 99, like that part of he's gonna take that 99% and he's gonna, you know, feed it back into the world and it's gonna do good. That's awesome. And for him to hit that finish line of him hitting his maximum potential wealth wise, and then he gives back. That's that answers my question. Not in his sense of like, you know, is he just doing it for himself so he could be the richest he can ever be?
Even if he didn't want to, say he didn't do that 99% part and he just died with it, and then all that wealth goes kids wise, or his kids too, or whatever.
Yeah,
right, because that's what usually happens, right? And that's not good.
But he lived a happy life making money.
Like if he was happy doing that and that's what he wanted to do.
Hey, if you want to define your happiness in life with wealth, I don't agree with that. But that's fine. I don't agree with the fact that your happiness needs to be tied to wealth. I don't agree with that. Well, that's what that is. Like you're saying he lived a happy life, and you're saying he couldn't have lived a happy life without it? Are you saying if he didn't do it, he wouldn't be happy?
That's what he wanted to do, right? So that's what he did.
Yeah.
So then that's what made him happy, right?
Yeah.
So you asking the question, could he have been happy without it, is kind of irrelevant, because that wasn't his goal. That wasn't what he wanted out of life. He wanted his life to be
his life goal. He wanted to maximize his wealth.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying you don't agree with that.
I would ask him, why is that his life goal? Yes.
Okay.
Why? Like the simple, like, why? Like, what does it bring him?
It's like asking, why do you like photography?
That's not the same.
Why do you, what?
Like, I don't like it in that manner.
Whatever? Why do you like whatever you like? You know, like why do I like?
Like why do I like snowboarding? Right?
Yeah. Why do you like
being the best snowboarding or whatever? Yeah. So, hold on. What's going on? What sounds? Hold on. Sounds like someone asking, why buy better photography gear or climbing gear or computer parts? Can you still be content with what you have? Exactly. Lol. Why not? Okay. So see, Dan, your question there. Buying better gear, that wealth is being used towards something, a utility for photography gear, climbing gear, or computer parts. That wealth is bringing something that he didn't have before, or that person didn't have before. But in this example that they're telling me, it's just for the sake of owning wealth.
No, well, okay. What do you think Warren Buffett does?
No, but you're using Warren Buffett specifically now to try and prove me for something. Sure. But I was questioning DayDay. I was questioning DayDay, saying he'll never stop wanting more. That's what he said. And when I said, what more of what? And he said wealth. Yes. And then you brought in Warren Buffett as an example. But he's not the same as DayDay in this scenario. Is he?
No.
And now you're going to ask me how he makes more money, but like, I don't know. I don't know him. If you want to tell me if it's going to help.
I just figured that DayDay likes the process, just like Warren Buffett likes the process.
But more wealth can always be used for something that the person doesn't have. Yes.
Yeah, but that's not what...
Are you asking about what to do with the excess? Because the excess will go somewhere. Whether DayDay dies or not, it'll go somewhere. You know, it's not gonna sit in a bank and
unless I keep all that cash and bury with my casket and it doesn't get used. Like it's gonna go somewhere, dude.
Well, some people do that. Some people do that.
I won't do that. So
some people
you're worried about. Then
some people want to be buried with their wealth or whatever, and that's why you have grave diggers. But like anyway, I understand that's not you now. Okay, what I'm saying
now.
So no. Not now. Obviously, I knew you didn't want to be buried with money.
Yeah.
I'm still going to ask you why you're going to constantly want more. If you have a lifestyle... See, okay, fine. Warren Buffett, he doesn't have to change the way he lives. He'll continue to make more money, correct? Yes. Or is he going out and sacrificing more in his life to make more? Or is he just living life the way he does and he will continuously make more money? Is he still sacrificing in his life to make more?
No, he's like 90 years old.
Okay, so DayDay, he's not... So DayDay, right? Like, you're saying He loves whatever he's doing that makes him money. He will never stop, right? Because it brings him happiness. But that's not even what he said. He said he'll never stop because it feels like you'd be settling for something or whatever. But that's not what it is. If he enjoys what he does, it's like his living, right? Okay, let's say the example was $100,000 and then $150,000 to do something else. That scenario that won't even come to you because you're making money on your own. Yeah. At that time, you'd be making money on your own. You're being an expert at it, and therefore you're going to be making even more money. It's like your mentor, that guy, right?
Okay.
Okay, so he does it because I don't know, maybe he does it also because he wants to be perfect at it and he wants to be the expert and it brings him joy doing it. Great. That's fine. Okay, and he wants to be perfect at the craft and the process, and in that process, he makes more money. That is a different goal. Being perfect at trading or being perfect at that process, being perfect at Warren Buffett making money, whatever the process is, being perfect at it, that is a different goal than just to be maximum wealth when you die. That's what I thought. I kept asking. So the point in life is to be at the maximum amount of money that you could have collected when you die.
Well, whatever that the example that you mentioned just now will eventually lead to the maximum point when I die, right?
As if see, when you have like a salary job stuck at some place or working at a company, you're making 100,000, and then someone offers you 150, you decide to take the 150 to make more money, and then it's going to make you work harder or whatever it is. Who knows? But the point is, if you're unhappy in life, you're going to introduce change. You're going to introduce some kind of change if you are not content, right? And if someone can't hit being content in life, then you're like, why? What's missing? And if the only thing missing is maximized wealth potential, that's when I ask, well, what's it for? Right? If you want to be an expert trader or expert at making efficient income, whatever, that's what it's for. Money's independent of that goal. It's a byproduct of the goal. Like, it comes with your lifestyle. You're content with the way you're living. Money comes with it, but it's not the goal. The money isn't the goal. It's perfecting something, that the personal growth or whatever it is, that's the goal. I get that. When someone defines it as it's the money part isn't the byproduct, but the actual goal, I want more money. That is the goal. Then I will always ask, what's it for?
Or
does that make sense?
For better lifestyle?
Yeah,
well,
but
DayDay, is your goal to, like, because the reason why I bring up Warren Buffett and him liking the process, that's just me comparing to you. You like the process of making more money, right?
Yeah.
So, but FJ
but
is
who doesn't? Like, it's,
well, no, like, some people can, be happy with their 9 to 5 and live like that. They don't need more money than that,
Oh, but dude, there are people who who quit their 9 to 5, let's say, and they go out and they get a minimalist house. They go off grid and they have their farm. They don't even they make enough to pay whatever they need to pay, but they live the life independent of everyone, and they can live that lifestyle where they can have their own home and raise kids and a farm or whatever. But they're not increasing their wealth potential. It's just enough for them to continue to sustain that lifestyle. That's what the money is for them. The money isn't the drive to make more money. It's the money is to sustain that lifestyle. So let's say DayDay reaches a lifestyle with the way he spends is met, like the way his house, his clothes, his family, or what, and everything he wants, he can afford, because obviously you're gonna hit that, and you're saying, well, more money, you can get more. Okay, well, how much more? Like, so rather than having all the house and the cars that you have, you can have double. Oh, okay. If that's what you want, if that's gonna make you happy and is gonna let you buy 2 of them, fine. That's the goal then. Having 2 of them. That was the goal. But that wasn't, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the goal, to have more of something or access to a bigger house. Okay, sure. Okay. If you do this, DayDay, you didn't have the means to get a bigger house prior to increasing your wealth. But now with increasing your wealth, you can now have a bigger house.
Right.
Okay, fine. Then that's what it was for, to get the bigger house. You didn't have the means to get that bigger house before.
Yeah. So,
but that's what you wanted, the bigger house.
So that goal of maximizing gives me more choices in whatever it is that I want, right?
And you just want to
goal-
maximize choice.
Yeah. Yeah. The goal isn't to just hoard cash and just keep it for just display purposes. That is obviously not the goal.
Okay.
For anybody. That doesn't make any sense. I agree with that. But if your question was what's it for, as in like I didn't really understand, because it was like, do you think that I'm just I would want that so I can just have cash stuck in all of it stacked up in my under my bed? Like, obviously it's so that it's to
that even
provide
that for
me.
even that for if it was to collect, because we've already talked about collection of like cars or a collection of things that you don't need. A collection, a luxury collection, is just so wadding cash, like keeping cash like that, is similar, but that's not even what it was. It was for you to continue to make more money. Not even like like it's like you have, let's say you make $1 million a year or $2 million a year, and you like, well, next year
billion.
I want to make
Say
billion. You say you make $1 billion a year, and you're like, and I ask you, DayDay, how's life? You're like, life's awesome, man. I make $1 billion a year, and like I'm doing anything that I want. Choice though, and then I'd be like, okay, so what do you want to do next year or 10 years from now? It's like, well, I want to make $2 billion a year by the time of this. I want to make $10 billion a year by the time of this, and I'll be like, oh, okay, what are you working towards? Like, and is it choice? And I'm like, well, what don't you have access to now? You're making $1 billion a year. You want to maximize choice. Okay, do you not have maximum choice by that point?
Yeah,
there's a line, right?
Cost more $1 billion. You don't know.
Yeah,
that.
with inflation, sure, you're right.
This is a
Well,
hard.
DayDay wants to buy some
listen,
companies, man.
hold
Apple's
on.
worth $1 trillion.
Dan says this is hard example to compare because at that point it's money making money, so he doesn't have extra effort. Yes, that's true for Buffett.
And that's
true for Buffett.
That's why the example didn't really make sense in this regard.
Okay,
but
I want to maximize my. Oh, go ahead. You can read it. It's fine.
I want to maximize my climbing potential. I want to be the best climber I can be. Why? Because I want to be the best climber I can be. I don't see anything wrong with wanting growth to be self-defining. Yeah. Best climber he can be. Yeah. And with DayDay, he wants to be the best trader he can be. And money is the byproduct. Money is the thing that comes as a result of his goal of self-defining, being the best trader he can be. But that's not what he said. His goal was not to be the best trader he could be. So why not let DayDay earn the $2 billion? Yeah, he can. No, see, what are you guys saying? He defined the growth as part of the maximizing money, but it wasn't the best trader. He didn't say to be
DayDay,
the best trader.
Well,
he could
DayDay,
be.
what is it?
It's the goal. I mean, it's okay.
Because you mentioned it in the beginning of this. When we're talking with each other, we're not trying to focus on what we talked about like right in the beginning, because our opinions might have changed. Maybe there was a misunderstanding in the beginning, right? So DayDay, now after all that we've talked about, how will you answer?
So my goal is to it's the same thing. It's the same as before. It's to maximize, but it's to have the best lifestyle that I can have in this life.
Yeah.
In order to do that, one way to do so is through trading.
Yeah, but what FJ is saying is you've reached that point where everything you ever wanted is there. You know what I mean?
Like actual material possession. See, Dan, you said, but maximizing wealth could be viewed in the same way. It can't. It's not though, because maximizing wealth is a possession. If DayDay wants to be a corporate owner, he wants like multiple companies under his name, then that is a goal that comes with having more wealth to have access to that.
You can always have more.
But you can have more money, sure, and I'm always gonna ask what for, because if the goal is to just have more money, that's again, guys, I didn't say
this is the issue. This is the issue because DayDay says there will always have more things, and you're saying there is a point.
I can't see
DayDay's
how.
trying to say there will be
Yeah.
more things to buy, but FJ's trying to
Yeah.
say, what if you reach that point where you don't have anything else to buy?
So it's like
I'll
unlimited.
tell you when
The lifestyle
mean,
happiness.
Exactly. So you don't know, right?
you don't
Like,
know. And
it's
my
a never-ending loop.
my view is it'll never get there. You'll never hit the point.
DayDay has
Yeah,
bought
yeah,
everything in the world and be like, I think I need
DayDay
to buy
owns
another world.
the world, and he's like, you
If-
know what? But now I want Mars. It's like,
It should be. I mean, that's the way it should be. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Nah,
the way
dude.
that I. Like,
okay,
you should always
Okay.
want more things. DayDay
okay, but
will
here's
only
here's
first.
here's another thing too. Here's another thing too. Choice, right? It's because you want to be able to have maximum choice potential. So you make a certain amount of money, $2 billion a year. Let's say you were at $2 billion a year. Okay, it's a lot. It's obviously could be frivolous, but whatever. It's $2 billion a year. And you're like, but I want more choice. Therefore, I need to make $4 billion a year next year. If you don't, and whatever that living is, let's say you're happy with how your life is, and if you don't have to change anything with your input, you have the means to make $4 billion the next year, then that's totally fine. That was a byproduct, making more. It's just going to continue to make more. Investments will just continue to make you more. That's part of it. And, you know, the goal is to maximize his choice. He could have done that too, but if it required him to take on some level of sacrifice, something that's going to stress him out more, let's say, or something that's going to cause him to lose time towards something else in his life that he has to now put towards the means of making the more money, that is now a weight of choosing the money over something else that also made him happy. Right?
But
if
where in this world are you ever gonna get an option where you get more money but you don't sacrifice anything?
when you're content, right?
How is that gonna happen? Like, you're never gonna have a choice where you're offered more or you're given more for you to stay exactly the same.
Hold on. Own the universe. I want Pokemon avatars, but doesn't any growth require sacrifice?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Look at Jordan. Let's just look at Jordan. He owns, I'm going to assume, his house and all his possessions. And he continues to get royalties on all his shoes without having to do anything. You know, like, or not even do anything.
No, but
he has a lifestyle.
But listen, but he had to get to a point where where people were offering him that, right? So he had to put in the sacrifice to get to a position where people give him royalty. So it is a sacrifice because he had to ask for more. If he just was contented being the best high school basketball player, then he wouldn't have been able to get that whatever that you just mentioned with the royalties.
Okay.
Right?
But he had to sacrifice to get there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying it's impossible to reach a point where he can no longer need to sacrifice, but he'll continue to make more money?
Yeah, because even if let's say the whole Jordan royalty thing, right? Yeah, he's not technically doing anything because he's using his Jordan, but he's sacrificing his brand, his Jordan brand. If Nike fucks up and something goes wrong with the Jordans that people bought, then that affects him, right? So in a way, he is sacrificing his brand to get those royalties. Does that not make sense?
No, it doesn't. Explain.
Okay.
He's actually continuing to sacrifice his brand now. That's what you're saying.
He's risking his image. He's risking his brand as Jordan because those are Air Jordans partnered with Nike and all that, right? Let's say if I don't know, for whatever, like, sort of for just example purpose, let's say people found out, news leaked that Jordans were being made in third world country with like kids who are starved and they don't get paid and they get abused, and Jordan's making shit ton of money from selling Jordans because Nike and let's say he didn't know, but Nike was doing that because they wanted to save money because they're a company, right? And people found out and they start blaming Jordan. He's like, how can you do that? How can you support Nike like that? He
Okay.
didn't do anything wrong. He was just getting his royalty, right? But now the image, his brand is attacked. It's not the same as before, right? So
Okay.
that's a risk that he had to take. Why do you think he chose to do with Nike? Because it's to minimize risk. He didn't do it with some random shoe company that's like that nobody's heard of, right?
Okay.
So there's
Dude, how is this related to your question of how can you continue to make more money without sacrificing anything?
Because he is putting something out there. He's giving something for to return for the royalty.
He's already given it. Like, he's earned the brand. He's already put all the work to be the #1 best basketball player in the world, and now he's recognized for it, and then they signed him, he endorsed him for life. He's done it already. The sacrifice is done. He's not doing anything anymore. The sacrifice has already been made for him to reach that level. If some shit happens now that, like, Nike, whatever, third world country, his brand is fucked up, whatever, his sacrifice is already made. It's done. He's not doing it now.
So you don't think that if that news hits, it's not going to impact him at all?
But dude, I'm talking about input now to make more versus not having to put more input and continuing to make more.
And I'm saying the input that he's putting in now is his brand.
What's he doing now?
What's his reputation? Now? He's risking, and he's risking.
Dude, is that a job?
Reputation.
Is a reputation a job? Like what are you? How are you equating?
It's a brand. It's something you give for something in return, right?
Dude, what is his lifestyle now? The way he lives his life. He owns the Wizards, whatever. He owns the I think the Wizards, or no, whatever it is. He owns something. Memphis, maybe. The Grizzlies.
Charlotte.
Hornets. Charlotte. Yes, he owns the Hornets. He has his house. He has all his endorsements. He has all this money. He continues to make money living the life he already lives now. If he wanted to make more money now, he could choose to sacrifice time or do more work or do whatever now if he wants to make more. But if he just continues to live life that he does now, I'm assuming, this is a huge assumption right now, that he's happy, that he is actually happy and he doesn't want anything else. He can continue to live this way for the rest of his life without having to put any more sacrifice. This is the example that I'm thinking. What you're talking about, brand, risk, and I don't know if that's in the same realm of this example. I don't think it is. Okay, sure.
It should be.
But he's not. What's his input? His input is his brand.
His input is his reputation. His representation of himself.
But it's passive. Like it's like he doesn't have to do anything active, does he? What is required of him?
Just because he's not doing anything active doesn't mean he's not sacrificing.
Yeah, like you.
But his lifestyle. No, guy. His lifestyle achieved him this brand. Yes, it's gonna continue to collect risk. It's gonna continue to introduce risk. The more money he makes with the brand, as every Jordan they put out, a new Jordan every year, he's gonna have introduced risk. Yes. There's going to be this cost benefit of a new Jordan every year and the risk of whatever, some backlash. People are going to hate it and he might lose his brand. Sure, that's part of the job. His current job. What he is already doing now.
That's his
and he
input,
does
right?
not need...
And
yeah,
he's
but
doing it
you're saying...
continuously every year, right?
But you said what kind of job is something that you don't need to put more than what you're doing now.
I didn't say job. I said what part of this world gives you more stuff for you to do nothing. He's not doing nothing. You gotta understand this.
Oh
He's
my
not
God,
doing nothing.
Man, like it's about doing more. My example question was how much more does someone need to do?
Or does anything, he's gotta represent himself.
Sure, fine. I don't care.
Point. That's
fine.
my point.
That's part of his job. It's a part of his current job. Fine. Your question was where you don't have to do anything and you'll continue making money. Fine. That's the question. I thought your question was where you don't have to do anything more, but you'll continue making money. Where you don't have to do anything more and continue making money.
Continue making more because you're doing more. Yes.
Like if I am at $100,000 a year job and I'm making $100,000 a year, I obviously have to work to continue to make $100,000 a year. If I quit the job, I'll not make $100,000 anymore. Obviously, if I don't do the work, I'm not going to continue to make more money, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. whatever. Jordan representing, that's part of the job that he does now. He's been doing it already, and he's continuing to do so. It's his lifestyle. It's how he defines his lifestyle now, currently. Your question, fine. If he stops doing that, he'll stop making money. Yes. That's not being content with where his life is. Part of his life is that representation of him being that brand. That's part of him being content now. That's his job. That's how it is accepted. It will continue to make him royalties. If he stops, he'll lose the royalties. That's not the same. Because if he's content now, he doesn't need to stop. He likes what he's doing now. He's happy being that brand, collecting those royalties, representing himself so he can collect those royalties. He's happy. He's content with his lifestyle now. This is an example. We don't know that. You asked me where you don't have to do anything and continue making money. That's different. That is very different.
The reason why I asked that question in the first place was because yes, it's fine to be content, but your point was, if places offer you more money for a new job or whatever, then you have to weigh the whatever you got to sacrifice to achieve that new salary, right?
Yeah.
So and for you to weigh that, and then you talked about how, if they give me a bonus or a raise, then I didn't really do anything and I got it. Of course I'll take it. I get that.
Didn't do anything more. Didn't do anything more.
Didn't do anything more. But
yeah.
The reason why I asked that was because I was trying to figure out in what possible scenario is there out there where you don't do any more extra input and you get more money. And the reason why I use Jordan's brand with Air Jordans, because you brought it up, why I said that is because it may seem like he's actually not doing anything more to earn those royalties, but my statement was he's actually putting his image and representative and his brand that he built. That's the risk that he took, and that's what can potentially be damaged if something were to go wrong. So
and does he increase that risk every year by doing what I'm saying is the sacrifice, the additional. He's already accepted to DayDay. I get the example already. Okay, I get the example. He's working to make this money. He's not doing anything. He's working, but he's working within a realm that he already knows. He's been doing it for 30 years.
Yes.
Right. Okay, and then let's say let's just say you're saying maybe he wants more money, and therefore he needs to do more. He needs to more than the brand. Maybe he needs to do a new product, or he wants to create new shit. Yeah. And if the only thing, if his only reason to do all the new projects and add more to his plate of responsibilities is to make more money, only for the sake of making more money, I'm gonna be like, well, why? Why are you adding more to your plate if all you want to do is make more money? See, because he already has choice and all that stuff access to him. Man, why? If he is happy where he is, with how much responsibility is currently on his plate, I'm talking about plate of responsibilities. The only way he can get more now is if he adds to his plate. Would you agree?
Yes. Okay,
and he's gonna be like, if he relates to you, he'd be like, okay, I am willing to put this much more on my plate so that I can make more money. And this making more money will maybe give him a bigger plate, or I don't know. But if somehow he's more capable and sustainable where he can make that money and reach a new level of happiness, great. And for you, I hope, we use Warren Buffett. We looked for another example, but I mean, this is about you. If you just want to talk about it in the sense of your realm, you don't have to talk about $2 billion a year or whatever like that. Maximizing your potential.
You got cut off.
All right, it's just me and you, DayDay.
Oh no, he's back.
Oh, okay.
You froze there for a second.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation about you.
you were on a roll and I was listening, but then it got cut off.
No, I hear you guys the whole time, but it just doesn't send to Twitch the whole time. And I
Oh.
do lose some connection in Discord where you can't hear me, but I can still hear you guys.
Oh. Okay.
But
So,
it's still frozen on
sorry.
Twitch right now.
No, I see.
No, I see it
Oh
moving.
wait, yeah, I'm. No, it's fine. It's working.
moving.
I see it.
Should I refresh this thing? Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay. I mean,
So, go on.
let's take your plate. Let's talk about your plate.
Okay.
And, would you say it's pretty full right now?
Yes.
Okay. And you're making some sort of level of money right now with how much is on your plate.
Yes.
And you want to make more.
Yes.
Do you need to add more to your plate?
Yes.
Okay. Is your plate infinitely big?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So you could...
that's my goal, and to get there, I would have to eventually add more stuff to my plates, right? Because
No, I meant not the plate of possession. Sorry, plate of how many things you can handle at the same time, like your
no,
life.
that's what I
your
mean.
work.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
Yeah.
you want to be able to handle everything and anything at any time. That's what I mean.
I
like,
mean,
you have 24 hours a day.
for-
You have...
so for someone to say, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. I mean, yeah, it could be true, but I think 90% of the time that's just an excuse, and I know for like I can tell it's true, because even for me, like I want to be able to go to the gym every day, and I tell myself, oh, I don't have time, but it's an excuse because just get less sleep and then you can go, but I don't, because it's a choice.
Okay,
And-
so let's say in your plate it involves 6 hours of sleep, and your plate involves your relationship, eating at some point, like nutrition, health, physical health, fitness, to a certain level that can sustain you. And then you have the rest of your plate that you can put towards, okay, part of that plate's going to be entertainment, rest and relaxation, things that you enjoy doing. Right? There's also that time you got to give to that. And it doesn't have to be every day, but there is sometimes where you take something off your plate so you can fit something else, or you take that off your plate to put something else. And then the rest of the plate is your effort to make you more money. And do you think that portion of the plate can in itself continue to increase its potential of making more money without taking more space in your plate? Or does it always have to take more space in your plate? Because I don't think your plate is infinitely large. I think it's a finite plate.
It's not gonna keep adding, but I'll have to take something out to put that, right? So
Right.
that's what I'll do.
Okay, so sometimes you'll take out some entertainment to make more.
Yeah, less Redditing or whatever.
Right. And then you make more, and then maybe you'll trade it, you'll swap it out later, and then you'll have some downtime again or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe you don't even want Redditing back at all, and you're like happy, and you don't. And so eventually this plate you're increasing its fraction to sustain making money. I do think you have every means to take that same fraction of the plate and continue to make more and more money. I think you have the potential and the ability to do that without increasing on your plate. And that's fine. But yes, I'm gonna wonder if you continue to take other things off your plate to increase that size of time you want to put towards making money. I'm gonna ask, why are you doing that? Like, why are you taking other things that you need in life that make you happy? I guess it's gonna make you happier. If you want to take more things off your plate to put towards making more money for you to be happy, sure.
Yeah.
To maximize the monetary, yeah.
No, go ahead. Maximize the monetary. Yes. So that I can have the maximum potential lifestyle that I can have is the goal. So if that's gonna require me to put more stuff in my plate and take more stuff out, take some or swap it out with some stuff, then I will do that. Whatever it takes.
Do you think that 100% of your plate could be put towards making money to hit that maximum potential?
Good. I don't think it'll ever really get to 100%, but that's what people strive for, right?
Okay.
Or should be striving for anyway.
Yeah, I do think you can have continued growth in wealth, not the number, but I mean means of wealth. Means of wealth. Like, and if it can sustain itself, I do think it's very much you can make efficient money. Like if you, like franchise owners, let's just say they thought of the market really well. They bought some really good franchises. They don't have to take more effort into, let's say, they just hire. The money makes them more money, right? You eventually you just want your money to make you more money, where your input doesn't. Your input, no additional input is required. That's fine. That's what I think is a great thing to strive for. Get to the point where your money makes all your money and you don't have to take away from your life. That would be very content. I'd be super content with that. But if in your how you defined it, you need more money even after that. Like you would still want that, or is that it? Is that maybe it? If you hit that point, let's just say you hit the point where your money makes all your money and it makes you a lot of money, and your everything else in life is
Then
within
I'll
your
have
access.
myself, right? So I'll probably try to come up with ways to make more.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
that
your
way.
plate. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
my
you
plate
always
would
just
be
feed
empty.
in. Yeah, you feed
Yeah.
into the same portion of your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it brings you happiness. That's fine. That's cool. That's cool. But the goal there was, I don't know if the goal there was the money part, but it's just to maximize your efficiency time with making money. Like to be the best at it. Like to be the best at it is to maximize it. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Warren Buffett example, right?
I don't know what he does, man. Talk about it. If you want to use him as the example, sure. Tell it. What does he do?
No,
He doesn't
I'm
do
just saying
anything.
I'm just saying like he likes the process. They just explained that he likes the process. Because even if he reaches that point where he makes $1 million, he still wants to change it. He still wants to tweak his thing to make more money. So that's a process, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we talked about like an hour ago.
I feel like we did a big circle around.
It is a
and
big
now-
circle.
Now we've somehow like in the same.
I mean, that's what
vicinity
happens
now.
with this chat. So we're fine. We're at the very beginning again. It's part of your happiness is the money part.
No. We're
making the
we're
money,
not at the
right?
beginning. We started off here. Now we're
Yeah.
like here.
You have to, in a conversation,
because
you have
you
to try
were-
to understand each other, not, you know what I mean?
I think Dan
Right.
pointing out the difference in the word content was huge because I didn't really realize it until he said it.
No, but none of us agreed that it was
Thanks,
the second
Dan.
one.
I thought it was the second one. That's why he pointed it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah.
that helped. That helped a lot.
No, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Well, when if you describe that as like taking that portion of your resources and making the most out of that portion of your resources that actually is for work and like making money and making the most that you can make with that, like efficiency, that makes a lot of sense to me. But when it was, I just want to make more money, more and more money, and then it was like, well, are you sacrificing anything for it? And if it was no, if the answer was no, then that's great. But then I was always just wondering, like, so what's it for then? Like, what's that extra wealth for? And it's not for the, it isn't for the actual monetary limit. It was just that comes with it as a byproduct of that piece of the pie that you like making money with. That makes sense. That's fine. And yeah, if you can do that and actually be like, yeah, it's not stressing me out more than it would have. Like I enjoy this. It's bringing me happiness. Sure, there's like that give and take of like putting in. Obviously, it makes you happy too. Obviously, it's gonna stress you out still. But it's like excitement. You play when you're snowboarding. There's risk and it's tiring too, but it's fun. Yeah. Okay. Great. That was a long freaking example.
That's good.
savings, investment, spending, and credit. I guess we
Yeah.
kind of touched on that. I don't know how to like segue or just end it.
You can end by
Just end it.
saying, "Don't leave your money in checking's account."
Right, you weren't here when we were asking certain people what they had.
No,
But
I was
yes.
listening. I had work.
Oh,
I was listening.
yeah. And yeah, don't leave it in 2 checking accounts either.
Well, I mean, I think, well, checking, yeah, I mean, savings would be better. But I think I've heard there's a way where it's good, you can do that to organize. Like you can have different savings account or even checking account for like, you can put a certain money in one checking account and say, this is to spend on this. And then another checking to put, this is to spend on that. That's way it's just organized in a way.
Mhm.
But I
Actually
don't
tracking.
do that. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that. But I've
Yeah.
heard that's a cool way to like compartmentalize the way you are
Yeah.
keeping your money, and it's more visual and it separates your money so you don't think like, oh, I can spend a little more doing this or whatever. You know what I mean? You can reserve that money for like something you're saving up to buy. Yeah, you can use it for that reason. But if you just have 2 checking accounts, just to have 2 checking accounts. Wait,
Well, let's
I
say
have 2 checking accounts.
okay, but let's
it's two
say
different bank accounts, I guess.
if you're earning money and you're setting aside, let's just say $100 a month to savings. Good or bad? Yeah?
Yeah.
Good, right?
I think it depends where you
Okay.
are. So the way I see it is, okay, if you're in debt, if you have credit card debt, you pay that off first. Then you build up your emergency savings, and then after that you put it into something that you can invest in longer term. That's the order that I would go in. Debt,
Yeah.
debt
Debt
saving,
first, you gotta get rid of.
emergency,
Yeah.
debt, emergency, and then investing.
Okay. Right. So I mean, yeah, that's a great summary already. I don't think you have to add to
Done. We're done.
that. So
Nice.
yeah. Thank you.
That's good. You know, a
Uh,
lot of people don't have emergency savings. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah, there was
then
that
that-
statistic. It's like 65% or something. Americans don't have $500 like extra or something like that.
No, but dude, like they must have debt though, right? Like if you don't have emergency, you definitely have debt, would you say? Unless you just broke even, unless it just happened. But
I would probably put the probability towards that people. Yeah.
yeah.
56% of Americans have $5,000 or less in savings, while a third have $1,000 or less.
And does that conclude that's assuming they're debt free?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, who knows? Yeah. Greed is bad. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you have like, yeah, with that kind of thing where if you're in debt or if you have so little in your savings account, it's either you don't make enough money or you're spending too much. And that's where living above your means is an issue.
Yes.
Uh-huh. The whole emergency thing can only really start right once when the debt is cleared already. But then if you are a type of person who lives paycheck to paycheck, you introduce debt every month, don't you?
Yeah. So what do you say to those guys? You either
well, you're
yeah.
right. It's either you reduce the cost or you increase the income.
You increase the income, yeah.
And would you say too in this world, like even Americans, how many of them actually have the means or the opportunity to do that? Like,
Right? If you're
Can-
not
can you
there
change
yet,
your
then you don't
situation?
do it. Yeah, if you can change the situation, yeah. If you're stuck there, then feel bad.
It's tough.
Feel bad for you.
yeah, because there's people there who struggle to put food on the table, right, or whatever, or like just to pay rent, or they're late on rent, and that's debt. Like as soon as you're late on anything, that's rough, yeah. But let's say you figured that shit out. You're off credit card debt. You know, I'm not counting a mortgage because that's part of like your monthly obligations to live, like rent. So you'd say start putting a little bit away with your income. And assuming that most of us here in our 30s have built enough of a savings where it's sitting there, that's when you look at that and be like, okay, pick the number where you should. What you said, 54% of Americans have less than $5,000 in their savings.
56% of
1,000.
Americans have a third have $1,000 or less.
A third of that? Oh, a third. 30%
third
of
of-
Americans. Yeah. Have $1,000 or less in their savings. Well, yeah. If it's savings, though, it's better than nothing. It is
not better than nothing. Yeah, it is better than nothing.
I wonder if that's skewed, though. You know what I mean, though? I bet you those people have debt, and that's not really savings. If you have $1,000 in your savings account, but you have $3,000 in debt and credit cards, that's zero. In my opinion, that's zero in your.
You're in the red.
Yeah.
I think I've been in the red. Have I been in the red? I've been in the red for a month.
I've been in the red multiple times.
Like
Yeah, I've been
in
in the
debt,
red.
and you don't have enough money in your savings to pay off that debt. Damn.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it. After a month, I was like, it's too stressful.
I just stopped opening my bank app.
That's scary.
Wait, you stopped
I mean,
opening
if-
the bank?
Yeah, but you know what? Some people like they don't get that feeling of being scared when they're in the red. Like, they just think it's
Yeah. No, dude.
because they
I
think
know a
it's
lot of
not real
people
money.
who carry credit card debt that way.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll just put it on the credit card. I pay it later. And they
Yeah,
don't
and they
see
just
it
never
as,
pay
as
it.
red.
Yeah.
They don't see that
Yeah.
as red. It's
Yeah.
like, but it's
They
red.
don't
Used
see
to
it
be
as
this
red.
guy. Not anymore.
Well,
but before.
that comes from people just not being informed. That's misinformed and
especially in
not
school,
knowing how it
man.
worked.
So
Or even
bad in
student
school.
debt, like this, like student debt, like
oh,
you have
true.
like tens of $1,000s that you owe that you can't find, any way to pay for, or you have the money to pay for it, but you can just hold on to it and never pay for it. Like, I don't know what.
Do people do that?
Yeah. Well, I know one person who does that.
All right, guys.
But-
She's like,
they're-
they
Oh,
think
you're done?
that I'm like a he.
I gotta go.
Oh, all
All right, later. It's cool.
I'm gonna
Later,
go do my cast, but
I'll
Thank
double it
you,
up.
this was
man.
good. This was
Thank you for
good.
coming.
If
I apologize for the heated back and forth in a certain
okay.
tone.
that's okay. It happens.
It does. It
It's
does.
not when it wasn't just you; it was everybody else too. So no worries.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll raid you after.
Thank you. All right.
If you're going online now, I'll raid it after.
I am. All right.
All right.
Catch you guys later.
Later, man. Mike, you're talking about
Yeah, I know someone who has student debt and they think the government's gonna
waive it.
waive it. I'm like,
I do know
no.
people like that. I do know people like
Yeah,
that.
there's people
They're-
who think that. Yeah.
where I think in a certain income level, you aren't required to pay it off, and it's not it's not increasing in interest.
Not increasing interest. Yeah.
So if it's not increasing in interest, I understand why there is no incentive to pay it.
Hmm.
Even if you're hanging on to your money, let's say it's in a bank account that's increasing in 2% interest. Let's say you have $20,000 in student debt, but you have $20,000 in your savings account earning interest for you, and your debt isn't increasing interest. I
Then
would
there's no
keep
reason
that
to pay.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would keep that money in the savings account for sure. Like,
Yeah.
when I heard that, I found it hard to believe, and I thought they were wrong. Like, are you sure? Like, can you double check that just to make sure? Like,
Yeah.
because otherwise, I think you should be paying that because it's high too. OSAP is like, it's not ridiculously. It's not as high as a credit card, but yeah.
But you're still paying interest. Yeah.
Are you though? I
Well,
think
I don't
again,
know.
it depends on your
I
income
don't know.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're on like support or like any kind of welfare or something like that, or yeah. But you're saying this person that you know actually has the money, like can clear it.
I don't know. I don't know if they have the money to
Oh.
clear it, but they make enough to be able to clear it in like, however an amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the red, and then but actually being in the red where I was increasing interest from like a credit card or the bank, I would rather be in the red with a family loan. So like
Yeah.
I got bailed out by family, and then I worked my ass off to pay that back at a much lower interest rate. And
Yeah.
I felt safer that way, and it was fine. Like I knew I would get out of it, and I got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that was a good one, guys. Thank you for coming today. We again segued quite a bit, but I mean, tangented quite a bit, but that was fun. I'm going to raid DayDay now to send you all. Is he online now? No? Hold on. Is he online?
Wait till he's on.
He is online. Okay, he's online. Guys, we're going to send you all to DayDay. He's got some very educational, fun stuff to learn about the stock markets.
What?
And
It
it's
says offline right now. Is he on?
It
Oh yeah, it
says
says
a
stream
red
starting.
dot.
Yeah, stream starting soon.
Oh, maybe I should wait till he's on. Should I wait till he's on?
He's setting up maybe.
Yo, this is gonna be good, guys. I invite you to stay. He's very close to hitting his metrics for affiliate. He's way closer than me, so it'd be great to support him. So yeah, signing off. We'll see you guys next week, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna be the 30th. Actually, guys, next week is the one before Kincardine. We might not have one next week. I feel like Thursday. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. We'll have one next week. But have a great night. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy DayDay's stream.